It was an amazing game because they were on top of the ladder and we were ninth at the time, and unfortunately we had Wayne Carey was out, Mick Martin was out, and Anthony Stevens was out of the side.
And we'd smashed them probably the last 3 or 4 times, and really they'd had the wood over us in the late 90s, and the last 3 or 4 games we've done really well against them. So we went into the game, you know, reigning premiers, expecting to walk over them again.
Rocker at the back. Grant goes to the goal square. Rocker, well done.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. We kicked 12 goals to their 2 and blew them away really in the first quarter. We had all the play, and Sav Rocker was sensational. Kicked 4 and actually kicked a couple that weren't marks and goals. He was able to kick them in general play, and then Boomer Harvey chipped in with a couple as well.
This is unbelievable.
You know, we changed directions and it seemed just to change. We got the ball out of the middle. Jason Johnson was on fire in that game and really led from the front. Matthew Lloyd was marking everything in the second quarter and kicked some pretty special goals. And the game evolved.
And Lloyd's going to get another one. He's going to get another one.
It all fell apart. They turned it around as a good side does, and they turned it around in the second quarter and in the second half. They really, basically changed their whole game style. They played guys behind the ball and were able to fast break us in a lot of ways, and it certainly worked for them because they were outstanding.
Winds up for another one, and slams it through. Jason.
Going into half-time, just thinking, how good is this game? But we've clawed our way back from that far. There's a real chance now to come back and win a game.
I can just remember Dennis, really trying to rev blokes up, saying that we can turn this game around and put some scoreboard pressure on Essendon. And that rivalry between the two teams was extremely evident.
Cleaned up by McGrath, and he kicks a goal. It's a 1 point.
And we weren't going to lose to our great rivals who had smashed us in the early 90s and we thought we'd finally got on top of. And there was just no way either side was going to give, and that's how the third quarter played out.
So Gary Moorcroft, what a year he's had, and what a kick that is under pressure. Essendon are in front.
In terms of atmosphere and pressure and intensity in the game of footy, it was right up there. It was, as intense as a final would be.
Well done, Pickett, handle over the goal square, McKernan, number 5. They're coming again.
Moorcroft, let it go.
The master stroke of Kevin Sheedy, done it again. He actually got over his rivals down the road at North Melbourne, and I know Dennis Pagan was bitterly upset with the loss.
And the game is over. One of the best ever. One of the very best ever matches.
The feeling walking off the ground at the end of that game, I was arm in arm with Ramanauskas and maybe Johnson or Solomon, just really close mates. Going, boys, that's just incredible. That's amazing. Firstly, to beat North Melbourne, who, that was one of the big games of the year, but to beat them in the way we beat them just was really special. I think the unfortunate thing about that was we didn't beat them for another 6 years after that. But that game was maybe the beginning of the end for Essendon. I think that was probably our last great victory at the end of our big role.
That was round 16, 2001. That was one of the most amazing first half to second half turnarounds of all time. James Hird and Lee Colbert playing that day. It's all about today, though. North Melbourne and Essendon. This is 12th versus 7th as the 7th placed Bombers burst through the banner. Round 4 clash. One team inside the 8, hoping to stay in, and this team outside the 8, 12th at the moment, having lost their last 2 to the Bulldogs and Hawthorn after a win over Melbourne in round 1. Hoping to play their way back inside the 8 and reverse their recent fortunes. Roof open here at Etihad Stadium, and a little cloudy above, but we're not expecting any rain today, which is good news. Let's have a look at the lineups, gentlemen.
And North Melbourne, obviously we see Matthew Lloyd there named at full forward. Let's hope he plays close to goals. He was back to his best last week.
And Scotty Lucas starting on the bench again. We'll get to him later on, but that's going to be a pivotal matchup, no doubt. And McPhee, we talked about him. David Zacharias and Winderlink, they're very good for Essendon.
Urquhart been important for North Melbourne. Hanson's been pretty good as well. As we look at the midfields, Stanton, Nash, Quinn. I like to see young Quinn. He's a good player. And Lee Harding's probably been the best player for North Melbourne so far this season.
I'm really looking forward to the ruck clash here, David Hill, McIntosh. Whoever wins this duel, I think will win this game of football. Obviously Simpson and Watson, 2 hard nuts, and the speed factor, Harvey and Lovett. That'll be outstanding to watch.
Looking for a big game from Brent Harvey this afternoon as we look at the half-forward line for North Melbourne. This is an area they've been letting themselves down. Petrie needs to take some contested marks, as does Hale.
Young Danaher on Hale, no doubt that is pivotal also. Campbell and Thomas, been pretty quiet the last couple of weeks. Look for those guys to put some forward pressure on them. We have a look at the interchange here. Swallow, Smith, Zeeble, Power and Dean Laley as coach.
Certainly, and the Bombers, as you said, you already mentioned, Spud, that Scotty Lucas starting on the pine. Courtney Dempsey, who's been very important, as has Dyson and Skipworth. Should be an absolute beauty this afternoon. Good crowd getting in here too, Danny, as well. And Matty Lloyd, good to see him back last week. I mean, there were critics about him early last year. He came out last week, he was taking contested marks, his kicking was on. He's got nearly 900 goals.
Well, needs 4 to get the 900. Outstanding player, Matthew Lloyd. And as I said, last week it was the Lloyd of old. Not only was he getting the ball on the half-forward line, half-back line, but he was also pushing the ball forward also. But it was his work rate pickers. I reckon early in the season, in round 1, he was getting up the ground and staying there. And then he worked back hard, and this was the Lloyd of old. And the Essendon players, you could see they were lifting when Lloyd started to clunk a couple.
Well, you're talking about clunking marks. Look at that, across the front like he's done for years. Just so strong. And you'd think that Gibson will probably get the job on Lloyd if he does start deep. And he had a pretty good game last week on Franklin.
Certainly did. He's athletic, Josh Gibson. Really look for him to run off also. If he can get the ball to the ground, I reckon that's where he can exploit Matty Lloyd. But he needs to defend nice and early.
Mark McVeigh back in the side. Just good to see. He's a hard player. He's had that injury in the pre-season, obviously, and I welcome him back. First game for the year, Spike McVeigh. And he's probably going to go on and off the bench a little bit, you'd think, today, but he is a very, very good player. Now, there's one man here, Spud, I want to ask you about. He hasn't had a great year. Unusually hasn't had a great start to the year, Brent Harvey, but I'm expecting a big game from him this afternoon.
Last night, Gary Ablett played his 150th. He's been under the pump, but I noticed the Geelong players would give the ball to Gary Ablett. I think the North players, to get their skipper into the game, even if he's got someone on him, just put the ball to space, because loose ball that's his strength. That's what he's built his game on. Give the ball to the skipper and let him create some run. And
give him some easy, cheap touches early just to get his confidence up. You're spot on. That's what Geelong do with Ablett, and they do it really well.
Also, protect him also. Around some stoppages, look for some big bodies.
Close to 40,000 expected here today at Etihad Stadium. The bounce of the ball straight after this break. Welcome back to Etihad Stadium. Round 4 action about to kick off. North Melbourne under a little bit of pressure of recent times, and hopefully we get a close one. Ryan Smith is downstairs as Ben Warren does a little bit of warm-up work. His mum and dad and a couple of sisters and his brother here to watch him play his first game. He's had the hair bleach for it. As we head downstairs to Rowan Smith. Rowan.
Thanks very much, Dwayne. Well, a lot has been spoken about North Melbourne struggling up forward. They might struggle a little bit more today because they've got probably one of the best defenders in the competition in Dustin Fletcher playing down there today. He gives great advice, I suppose, to young Tate Pearce and Darcy Danaher, probably the heir apparent to Dustin Fletcher when he does retire. But he just gives them great direction down there. So look forward to another great game from Dustin Fletcher again today, boys.
Thanks, Rowan. Toss of the coin, Matty Lloyd and Brent Harvey. Speaking of men under pressure, and Matthew Lloyd wins the toss and will kick left of the screen. And just on Dustin Fletcher, gentlemen, this is his 298th game. He'll become the 5th Bomber to 300 games in round 6. And what about the names ahead of him? Simon Madden, Dick Reynolds, Watson and Folds. I mean, he is in elite company now, Dustin Fletcher.
He certainly is, and he's been just such a wonderful player over a long journey of time. And you look at Dustin Fletcher and you look at his body and you see he's still a skinny-looking bloke, but he's just got these great long arms and he's got fantastic anticipation skills.
And he debuted in '93, was still going to Essendon Grammar in Year 12 and played in the premiership that year. It's amazing to think that he's still playing football, so look for him today. Not sure whether... It's interesting, they use him to play on the third tall forward. They put Dustin so he can help the young defenders come off and be that third man in. So look for Fletcher. If they kick the ball in high, nice and early, Fletcher will get that big long arms you talked about, the fist to spoil, to create a lot of run.
Hard to believe he never played full back at all in junior footy. He'd always been a ruckman or a forward. And he actually rucked for Essendon in his debut against Justin Madden when they played against the Blues, and then the week after, Kevin Sheedy made him a full-back, and he's been a defender ever since.
And also in the international series a couple of years ago as the goalkeeper, there's no doubt. A lot of soccer people say that he would have been an outstanding goalkeeper because he's got that athletic build, long arms and long legs, and very quick off the mark.
Paddy Ryder starting forward. And Josh Gibson looking like going there. I like seeing Ryder forward. He'll give him a bit of something a little bit different up there. Lloyd starting a little bit deeper in the forward line.
And we were warned that might be a physical start to this game. We're underway. We'll see if that does come true. Watson quickly to McVeigh. Lloyd starting up forward, which is good news for Bomber fans. McPhee dives in, caught, wrapped up, and crushed in the end at holding the ball. The umpires today, Ray Chamberlain, who paid that one, Troy Pennell and Chris Donlan, and that was reasonably hot. Scott McMahon playing for 50. You can't fool Ray. And he heads wide to Lockie Hansen.
The modern games are very, very funny when you look at it. It was Lower starting on the half-forward line for North Melbourne. Within 10 seconds, he was off the ground and they replaced by Josh Smith. 10 seconds, he hadn't even gone near it.
Petrie pushed Fletcher out of it. Tackle laid on Lindsay Thomas, and the umpire says it was an illegal tackle.
With David Hale's off here on Danaher.
And gets the fly, but a good fist from Danaher. Knocked that down. Coming off a good game, Danaher, on Brendan Favola last week, and might get this handball. In fact, Monfries goes back to Pears. And he shorts it towards Lloyd, all the way up to half-back. Well read. Brilliance there. Outread Scott Thompson, who's got the big job at the moment on Matty Lloyd. Pumps it to McPhee. Ryder with the right. Couldn't bring it down. McPhee shoots the handball towards Ryder, but he wasn't looking. Hansen, Gibson. Short to Ben Warren. And the first gamer looks lively. Got a kick away, and the quickness of the game at AFL standard just a little quicker than that at the second level.
He did well in the end, Wayne, because he wasn't aware. He just had to have an awareness that Lloyd was bearing down on him, but at least he got the kick away.
And that's Benjamin Warren, as opposed to Warren Benjamin, who's also on the Kangaroos list, number 26. So that'll be rather strange when those two get a game together. Simpson got the kick away towards goal. Off Petrie's hands, and Fletcher doesn't want to rush it behind to Stanton.
Good chase from Petrie.
Yeah, took him on. The chase was good. Zaharakis, speaking of good early form in his career, and Hansen thumps the ball back across the line.
Much improved player, Lockie Hansen. Big job today on McPhee. You can see McPhee already. Pickers is working up around that wing region. So if Hansen can continually get the ball in, and Harvey has got Slattery has actually got a big job today on Brent Harvey.
From the ball in, love it. Rawlings, Petrie slaps it back towards Rawlings. Zaharakis takes him on. Fletcher, little sidestep. Not a lot to go to. Some time though. No one comes at him initially, and that allows him some time to hit Monfries. Back to Zaharakis, and short to McPhee. Back from his one-game suspension, McPhee into the side again.
Good pressure.
And Monfries gave it back to him, put him under almost too much pressure really to be able to deliver decisively. And there's a push free kick here. It's to Monfries from umpire Chris Donlan.
Yeah, against Lindsay Thomas there, just in the back.
Spears the pass to Lloyd. Caught on the bounce. Burkhart tries to shoot it back to Pratt. Look away handball, Ferrito.
Good tackle.
Hansen dragged down. Ball falls to Smith. All the way back to Harding. Forced to backtrack quickly to get that. And now the short pass to McMahon. He's got McIntosh.
It's interesting watching David Hill trying to push forward as much as possible to get McIntosh into defence. It'll be a good matchup, that, McIntosh and Hill today. Both in very good form, I should say.
To Hansen, the man you spoke of, Danny, said that his progression was interrupted by having to play for Tassie as the reserves team for North Melbourne, having to fly down there and play with the bottom team in the VFL. Was almost destructive to his progress, Lockie Hansen, and he'll be happy he doesn't have to do that anymore. Short pass is good to Petrie. So 4 scoreless minutes to start this opening term. They're building nicely now.
There's the new look David Hale there.
With the hair.
Well, he's grown a bit more by the look of it, Blaine.
He is.
That was quite interesting because Harvey had pushed forward and his direct opponent was Dustin Fletcher, and they banged it in long. Probably not a good result for Boomer Harvey.
Now, it would have been better dribbling it along the ground too. Monfries and Stanton share a couple of possessions. Now Winderlick in the best form of his career and takes them on. There's confidence for you. Stanton. Now he's got Skipworth and he wants him. Lloyd peeling back to the square. Winderlick looks up. He's got Lloyd. He goes longer. Down there is Lee Harding. Too good for Owen Davey. Davey seemed to have the sit there, but Lee Harding had the poise and the strength.
We'll head down to Rowan Smith. Lovett's off the ground. His direct opponent come off also, Smithy.
Yeah, Brady Rawlings coming off career-high 35 possessions last week. He's got the job on Andrew Lovett today, and they've just come off after 4 minutes. So not that much work for Andrew Lovett early.
There's some great matchups here. We've got Watson and Simpson. We've got Stanton and Ferrito. We've got some great one-on-one duels here at the moment, Pickers. I don't see much zoning, so we're in for a really good contest today.
So whose decision has it been to go one-on-one? As Hill's tackled and stripped of it by Ferrito, are both coaches at the moment happy to play one-on-one footy?
Look, I think they would be, Dwayne, but if I had to take a pick, I'd say it'd be North Melbourne.
Yep.
They want to be the hunter because I think if the ball gets on the outside, Essendon's speed will really hurt Essendon. So North Melbourne want to play it on their terms, play some good, aggressive one-on-one footy.
McIntosh, the quick kick. It's half smothered. And now Stanton with the launch toward Lloyd. Couldn't get there for the half volley. Scott Thompson. Just game number 10 for Scott Thompson. Too old for an NAB Rising Star nomination, but really growing as a player now. McVeigh. First game of the year for McVeigh, maybe a little rusty. And didn't look rusty there. He's caught though. Got it out to Campbell, to Watson, to Monfries. Oh, Lloyd's in space. He's on the move. He doesn't get there. It bounces to him. Left foot kick to the square. McPhee. And McMahon's fist wins out, thumps it through. Let's have a look at Hill's elbow here.
No, just come up after contact, that's fine.
Good news for Bomber fans. Lee Harding, Lindsay Thomas.
Well, Lee Harding's back to the half-back flank today. He's playing on Owen Davey.
Ben Warren within Nash. Warren did pretty well. Hale throws it on the boot. Fletcher with the reach on Petrie. Good battle that. Fletcher tries to rush it behind. Petrie can't keep it alive, and he gets away with that, Dustin Fletcher. Thumped that to the line under pressure, but that was okay.
Dean Laley's pushing both boys forwards. It means that Fletcher has to play on Petrie, so that's a good move from North at the moment.
Slattery to Skipworth. Another mature recruit doing well. Watson. Dyson. Monfries. Just getting in the way was Daniel Pratt's fist. McMahon. Bounce pass to Harvey. That made it tough for him. Simpson. Turned it over though to Dyson, who turns it back again to Thompson, and that's an Essendon bounce that. Thompson was about to reload for North Melbourne, but it rolled out. We'll get a ball in.
Scott Thompson starting to get some big roles now for the Kangaroos. He's on Matthew Lloyd, so a lot of faith in the youngster.
23 years of age next month. Winderlick chips it around the body. Zaharakis through traffic. Davey, 50 from goal. Little sidestep. Thumps it to the square. McPhee down there. Threw his man away. And Lockie Hansen with the free. Gee, Lockie Hansen didn't know that was his there. He conceded that. And now it's 50.
Yeah, it's a free kick. It was just a bit early.
It was just a bit early, you're right, Pickers. The ball just wasn't in the area soon enough. He had just held, and the last minute pushed off. It would have been a great grab.
Yeah, he's certainly cold.
Umpire Ray Chamberlain not standing for the back chat. This is Swallow. And wide to Hale.
His direct opponent there, Darcy, another big role for him. He was on Favola last week.
Had concussion last week, David Hale, and went to hospital on a drip. That concussion has caused a bit of hair growth as he shorts to Harvey, and he'll be happy to get his hands on the ball, Brent Harvey.
Well, this is positive early, getting the ball in the hands of the skipper.
Well, his work rate's really up, Danny. He's been at both ends of the ground. Brent Harvey, they've used him a couple of times.
You wonder whether it's better to tag Brent Harvey when he's in form or whether he's on a stretch of out-of-form weeks.
Not a good job anytime.
No, because he looks like he really wants it today, and he bends that back beautifully. He kicks the opener.
Yeah, he's a beauty. There's no doubt about that. The Kangaroos are going one-on-one. The tackle count is 11-2 in favour of North Melbourne. So they've come with a real aggressive intention this afternoon. And we see Adam McPhee there. He was probably a little unlucky, but we really need to disguise that a bit better, Spud. But I just like the way the North are going about it at the moment.
Look, I do too. And as you said, the work rate of the tackling, the contested possessions. But I know that there was a free kick there, but you've just got to zip it up. You've given away 50 metres, and the result is a goal to North Melbourne. I know it's frustrating at times, but when the umpire pays a free, you've just got to zip up. He's really hurt his team there, McPhee.
There are some cracking battles all over the ground here. Slattery going with Harvey. As you say, Rawlings and Lovett. You look at Scotty Thompson and Matthew Lloyd. That's a good matchup for Essendon, I believe.
McIntosh and Ryder in the ruck, knocked down to Lovett, sends it long. Lloyd used the body. Thompson, brilliant. He sidestepped a couple, handed to Rawlings, they're away. Hanson and now McIntosh.
Lloydie again, because just a bit early on the push-off. He just had to hold him because he had him done cold. He pushed him off too early, which allowed Thompson to then have a secondary piece of the ball.
Well, the thing with that is, as I mentioned earlier, I think it's a good matchup for Essendon because he's very good overhead, as we know, Lloyd. And Thompson has traditionally played well on the little players more so than the big guys.
Essendon really blocking the exits well here. You just see the one-on-one. We've got no zoning. This is why we've got a lot of stop-start play at the moment.
Gibson thumps it out of the area, and McMahon read that well. Turned around, saw it was dropping quickly, and Scott McMahon with the mark.
And what we're going to see today with these one-on-ones, traditionally it's about work rate. Yep. How hard you want to work to get the ball in your hands.
Hale had it, but lost it to Fletcher, who gave to Watson, and now Lovett with some space, but out of play on the full. Free kick to North Melbourne. So taken by McMahon, inboard to Zeeble. First touch for Jack Zeeble for the day.
What's happened there?
In fact, he won't be allowed to have it. It's Jade Rawlings' ball from the out of bounds on the full. So even though McMahon took it, Rawlings will now have to take it.
It's only early, as you talked about, North Melbourne 11 tackles. Essendon kicking efficiency at the moment 65%. So they're really pressuring the young Bomber players.
Harvey. And the fist away from Hale by Paddy Ryder.
Very athletic Ryder, just jumped early, a very bouncy player, and just get the fist in beautifully on Hale.
McIntosh took it out of the air and was lucky, he swept it away. Harvey to Zeeble, who gets that first touch, not that it'll count. Hale keeps it alive. Power close to the boundary line. Hale's kick smothered. Danaher, Watson. Back to Danaher. It's a wobbler. Almost an impossible ball. Harding. Back to Harvey. Tracked down by Skipworth. They get away with it. Zeeble. His kick a shocker.
Lucas one-on-one here.
McPhee, Stanton, Zaharakis, good user of the ball, yet to kick an AFL goal. Still yet to kick an AFL goal. Zaharakis had a chance with his first kick in AFL footy and hit the post, so it's part of that select group that hit the post with their first kick in league footy. So game number 3, still yet to get one. McMahon wide to Pratt.
Just on the ground, Pratt, and already Essendon have had 26 handball receives to North Melbourne's 14, so two contrasting styles at the moment.
Lower to half forward, and there's that Courtney Dempsey reach.
So
Thomas corrals him, and Dempsey a little too clever with the space, although the kick smothered. Pears knocked it down, didn't take possession. Lower wanted it, gave to Petrie, and inside 50, Ben Warren can have a shot to kick his first goal in AFL footy. Ben Warren.
Well, Ben Harvey was screaming for it in the middle of in the centre corridor there, running towards goal, but I like the composure the young fella showed. He just didn't bang it forward, and now he needs to finish it off.
Dad Chris and Mum Ali here, along with his sisters Millie and Sophie and his brother Nick, the whole family. They've moved to Melbourne from Queensland with him. He's been on the list a couple of years, taken some time to get a game. He was drafted as a very young 17-year-old draftee, so that's the reason he has taken a while. He'll be disappointed he didn't kick a goal there. Fletcher, long toward Pears, bumped off it. Smith, Kangaroos look good early. Haven't necessarily translated it to the scoreboard, and Zeeble, another player yet to kick an AFL goal, has his chance from 50.
And he's a very good kick. That's the long kick coming in from full back. If you don't get it in the right spot and the Essendon player there needed to really mark that ball, you've got loose players everywhere, and that's what's happened here.
Started on the bench. This is game number 4. Gives it some air. Big long rainbow with a pot of gold at the end of it. Jack Ziebell's first goal in AFL.
And it was a great finish. He is a beautiful kick. That's been one of his strengths as a junior. Jack Ziebell, he's come off the bench today and started at half back. He's now gone to half forward. But just like the way North are going about it at the moment, Danny, just the way they've been able to hold up Essendon now. This is the effort here. Just felt the pressure a little bit there, young pairs. And look what happens on the turnover. Look at the loose players.
He should have kept his eyes on the ball, but the ball had to go a little bit more width. It just went straight over his head, which meant that he was running into the unknown. But at least it went on an angle a bit. I'm not trying to give him an out. At least he can have awareness of the ball and his direct opponent coming at him. That is just about a suicide kick, that one, when it goes directly over your head. You got eyes on the ball, but you're right. Should have kept his eyes on it till the end.
2-goal lead to North Melbourne. Love it. With the clearance, takes them on. He might go the journey from 55. Keeps it low, keeps it pretty.
We'll head down to you, Rowan Smith. That must have looked absolutely sensational from ground level.
I spoke to Pickers about him just before the start of the game, and there's no better side in football when Andrew Lovett gets the ball. You can see that you just hear from the centre break, he's just so smooth and so silky, and just kicks a goal from outside 50. It's just a beautiful, beautiful sight from down here, Spud.
I'll tell you what, that was terrific tap work, and they cleared it out for him to leave him run that space. The Essendon half forward there, I'll see what it is. It was Zaharakis. Instead of coming and taking the spot or the space for Lovett, he actually took his opponent out towards the half forward flank, which just opened it up for Lovett.
Even the sweeper for North Melbourne, they got sucked towards the ruckman there and allowed Lovett to run into open space. So the sweeper around this stoppage just has to be aware of the speed factor of Lovett.
Lead cut back to a goal. Hale in the ruck, but again, Essendon might win the clearance here. McVeigh to Watson. McVeigh pushed in the back, but this will be play on advantage. Dyson. Oh, gee, that's poor umpiring.
In his defence, Dwayne, the ball did bounce left then right.
Yeah,
and you see the free kick.
You've got to just read the play a bit better there, the umpy. They were out and about.
Winderlich might still make something of it regardless. Palms it back. Dyson. Lloyd is in position A here. Oh, that was Matty Lloyd to a T. Just didn't mark it. He would normally have marked that 99 times out of 100. We'll get a ball up.
2 opportunities for Lloydie to take 2 contested marks. You just see here, did the right body work, and then just the one hand. He had him done cold.
Oh, he gave him a push in the back, and he stuck his leg and tripped him.
The ball up.
Very lucky then.
Hill down, but to Harding. Hansen has looked very good early. Difficult kick. Fletcher. He's inside attacking 50. And a free kick. North Melbourne's ball, but play on advantage in this one. Read well by the umpires. Rawlings quickly.
Well, they've got a chance now because Fletcher, as you said, is up around the half-forward line. There's no defensive structure for Essendon at the moment if they can move the ball quickly.
Smith, lower, Simpson. Lower, Simpson. And he'll be happy to get a piece of it today. Towards Ben Warren. Dumped away by Pearce. Michael Quinn back into the team this week. Bumped off it. Ziebell for his second. He keeps it low, and Fletcher, he was at full forward moments ago, got all the way back to full back and had the energy to knock it to Stanton. Half court.
Good pressure. North Melbourne.
Ziebell does well. Taps it out for Rito. Tucked into the boundary line. Kicks across the face. Ben Warren should mark this.
Well, the pressure at ground level there, Smithy. North Melbourne definitely putting the Essendon runners under the pump.
And Dwayne said it before, every opportunity that the North Melbourne players are getting, they're just bumping their Essendon opponents out of the way just to make sure that they know that they're around today. Just the Essendon just a little bit inexperienced, and their younger bodies, I suppose, with the North Melbourne just trying to bump them out of the way.
Again for his first in AFL footy. Tougher angle. He's had a sighter. Can't thread the eye of the needle. See the disappointment on his face. He's the 13th member of the Queensland under-18 team from 2006 to make his AFL debut, Ben Warren. That's an outstanding number, and that's why there's a new team about to start in Queensland. As we see Ziebell's effort there spectacularly good moments ago. Fletcher heads wide to Pearce. Zaharakis. And now Quinn.
That's good running from Quinn. Read the play beautifully there.
Outstanding debut 2 weeks ago. Missed last week with a virus. The Irishman. I'm not so sure what he was doing there.
He tried to be a little bit too cute there. I think he tried to kick that up the right side of his boot, Dwayne, and obviously the round ball's a lot easier to do than the oval ball. He just found out.
He's just found that out, all right.
Yeah, for those who don't know the story, he's only been in the country for a few months. McMahon dumped. Dyson left it behind. Still a good opportunity here for Essendon. Stanton had that and dropped it.
In the back. Gee.
The easy release really does hurt you, and you can see the run and the counter-attack here. All of a sudden, Essendon have to run the length of the ground to defend this.
So McMahon to Smith. Pratt hunted down. Power.
They've got loose players here, North, and they can get it over this.
McIntosh. Danaher back with the flight. McIntosh with the reach. Centering kick perfection. Hale's got it.
Well, that was great play from McIntosh. Hill just rolled off McIntosh, and McIntosh was aware to get in a dangerous spot, so Hill was in two mind to go back and play in two efforts there.
Let's have a look at this kick from Quinn. No, that was just a shocker. Anyway, you look at it, I don't think he was even doing it. He's kicked it off his shin.
After looking at it again, he should have got off the man for mark a lot further back. He was too close to the man on the mark.
Now, David Hale, for his confidence, needs to kick this. He hasn't been terrific in front of goals this year.
Yeah, 2 goals too this year, and a couple that have missed completely. He bends it back and sneaks it in by a coat of paint.
Very, very important goal. He looks 10 years younger with his new hair hat. I tell you right now, he kicked that beautifully. I didn't recognise him, Danny. He'd had a bit of work up top, but that is a good finish. But even this kick coming in, there were loose players. So if you look around now, when McIntosh looked up, he had 3 options. Swallow was there as well.
Well, Darcy Danaher ended up manning the mark, and David Hill should have went on to Hale. What's his new do look like down there, Rowan Smith, from ground level?
He's looking magnificent. He's just walking on the bench. He's just kicked the goal, and I reckon maybe in a couple of weeks' time might have a few tips in the old new doozer.
Dreadlocks maybe in a month. Back in the middle, 21-8. Good start for North Melbourne. Coming off 2 losses, of course, so the Dogs and Hawthorn need to get their confidence back. Watson with the clearance. You heard the touch play on call.
Well, again, it was good pressure. Just pressured Watson into making a mistake, and now North have got the ball.
Power to Zeeble, who again uses it well. Finds Harvey.
Get it back here.
Then Harvey short to Zeeble, as you mentioned, gets it back.
Well, Brent Harvey's had 9 disposals, and you expected coming into this game he was going to get a lot of the ball. And North Melbourne are giving him the ball, which is fantastic.
No one moving at the moment. Oh.
23 minutes gone, opening term. So inside 3 minutes to quarter time as Gibson heads wide to McMahon. Coach said his form a couple of weeks ago, Gibson was putrid. And that kick was likewise. It put McMahon under pressure from the outset. And McMahon kicked it out of bounds on the full.
Not enough intent there. Run and carry and take the ball on a little bit. Just went through the motions there, the North Melbourne defenders.
They've got a huge amount of speed in the back half, North.
McPhee to Lucas, and he can kick it from there.
We look at the way this game's being played, and you'd say North Melbourne's intensity at the footy and at the contest is much better than Essendon's at the moment, but you look at the centre square clearances, it's 5-zip Essendon. Essendon have won 5 out of the middle to North Melbourne's 0. It was an area we talked about before the game, so if they can address that, North, you'd reckon they'd be well and truly on their way here.
Does he set shot this or run around?
He'll run around just at the end.
He'll just open up his left footer angle, I'd reckon.
Yeah, you'd think he'd run. No. Maybe should have run.
A shocker.
Well, that won't make his career highlights reel. Scott Lucas. Well, not a good time to be missing goals either. Nothing better than heading in at quarter time with some momentum as Rawlings gets the benefit of doubt. And now Lockie Hansen.
They'll just work the ball around the boundary line here with just under 2 minutes to go.
Rawlings. Pratt.
Essendon just have to man up.
We're still playing.
Don't allow the exit.
North Melbourne would be quite happy to take this lead to quarter time. Pratt sends it wide.
Not a great kick.
Lower, if he can get there. He does. Simpson's there for him. Just a little training drill at the moment. Simpson, lower. Well played, Watson. Knocked it out of play. And now Essendon have a chance to score at the end of this term by keeping it at their attacking 50.
Well, it's a win for Essendon. This boundary throw in.
If you look ahead at the top of that screen, you can see David Hale standing on side of his opponent as a long out option. I'm not sure why he just didn't bang it long. Dyson caught, pummeled into the turf as Lovett is. And we'll get another ball up with 61 on the clock.
Rawlings has been very good on Lovett. I know Lovett's kicked that goal out of the centre bounce, but he's only had the 3 disposals. Rawlings had the 6.
McIntosh and Hill, perfect palm down, Skipworth, Lovett again to McVeigh, tucked into the pocket, left it behind, gives back to Lovett, not such a bad option, Handball to Hill, on the line, Swallow, is that deliberate?
No, under pressure again, we'll get away with that every time.
We know what his intent was, Dwayne.
That was one of those that he wouldn't have got away with on the boundary line, but gets away with because there is 2 different interpretations of the word deliberate depending on where you are. As the seconds continue to tick, 21 plays 9. Big thump, lower, and McIntosh floats back.
Started well with Hamish. Hill's been very dominant in the tap area, but McIntosh is just starting to get the ball a little bit around the ground.
Maybe a chance for a late North Melbourne score here. Power, although he holds it up instead of taking off.
Well, he'd be getting instructions from the boundary line, you would think, from the bench.
Pops it up in hope. Good float in and not paid to Simpson. Ferrito. Lower. Seconds continue to roll, and now they stop with 3 on the clock. So unless...
Let's have a look at this rust. This rust, I should say. Oh, that's fine. Come on.
Unless there's a free from this ball up, it's quarter time here. And a good opening term, some boos for the men in Lemon on Umpire Appreciation Weekend. But North Melbourne happy with their 2-goal lead, 3-3-21 to 1-3-9. Quarter time at Etihad Stadium. North Melbourne and Essendon, 2 old-fashioned, traditional Melbourne footy rivals going head-to-head. And North Melbourne by 12 points, 3-3-21 to 1-3-9. Good crowd in here at Etihad Stadium, and North Melbourne fans have enjoyed the start of this contest, gentlemen.
Well, they've been terrific, North Melbourne. The first, look at the tackle count, Danny, at 19-12. I mean, that just shows an intent from North Melbourne at the moment. They're actually getting belted out of the middle, 5-zip at the centre breaks, but around the ground, the clearances, Essendon have been okay, but the contested possessions where they've been very good.
Look, they have, and Essendon have still gone inside their forward 50 12 times. Lloyd dropped 2 that he normally would take, and McPhee just a little bit early, so there's probably 2 out of 3 that they should have got there. The game's still in the balance for mine, purely on the fact that Lloyd has dropped a couple and McPhee, but North would be happy with their intent at the moment.
And downstairs in the shadows as the sun starts to overtake the clouds here at Etihad Stadium, Rowan Smith.
Thanks, Dwayne. Well, it was very interesting in that first quarter. Brent Stanton and Boomer Harvey going head-to-head. Boomer Harvey having 10 possessions and Brent Stanton having 7. So it'll be interesting to see how the game goes along. Boomer Harvey obviously has been tagged heavily over the last couple of weeks. And it's interesting that Brent Stanton's is probably one of the major ball winners for the Essendon Footy Club. So Essendon not going with a hard tag on Boomer Harvey. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out during the day, boys.
Well, you'd reckon he'll, if he gets off the chain, he's already had 10. I reckon someone would be starting to go hard on him as the game progresses, but Slattery had a crack at him there for a while. Had a bit of a go at the start of the game, but the rotations now means that you're rotating through probably about 10 players throughout the course of the game.
I think the beauty of it, he's going down to the forward line now, and Slattery looks like he's going to him. So, but obviously Slattery stays on him around the half-forward line, then he'll hand over, as Rowan Smith said, to Stanton.
And the scoreboard will determine what they do with him as well. If he's had 30 at 3/4 time, and Essendon's in front by 5 goals, they won't care. But if Essendon's 5 down and he's had 30 at three-quarter time, then different story. Harding and Davey. And again, in the bright sunshine here, second term about to get underway. 12-point lead to North Melbourne. Hill up against McIntosh. Watson through the legs of Winderlick. McVeigh going nowhere.
Matty Lloyd's come up the ground a little bit now. He's got a different matchup. He's got Lockie Hansen, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there if Lloyd clunks a couple early.
Well, it means Thompson's gone to Lucas now. He's pretty good in the first quarter, Thompson.
So they've kept Thompson closer to the goal square as the traditional fullback. Another ball up.
And I think that's smart because it doesn't really pull your defence apart. It means that you'll just play in a certain area on the ground.
Andrew Lovett's gone deep into the forward line, as you see there. Brady Rawlings has gone down there with him.
And again, North Melbourne have made a move seconds into the second term. Looked at the matchups, didn't like them all as we get another ball up and coming on Josh Smith.
We've got a lot of numbers around the ball because we've got one-on-one, so there's no one really zoning back and playing an extra man. That's why we've got tight contests around these stoppages.
Hill almost palmed that down to Watson first time, and Zeeble stole it second time. Kicks to half forward. Lucas shrugs Hansen on the left, long towards. Well, Stanton and McPhee were there. Stanton called into it by McPhee. Spears this past Ryder. Gee, was motoring, got hands to it, couldn't bring it down. Harding did well, held his feet. Hands to Simpson, throws it wide. Thomas. And now Hale.
Harvey lurking as well.
Shrugs. Darcy, Danaher. Gives to Harvey. Short to Campbell. Maybe too far out to score and knows it. Hands to Harvey. Hands to Thomas. From the angle. Impossible shot at goal and got the result most would have expected from there.
Again, another drop mark in the Essendon forward half. There's 4 that they should have taken there. Ryder should have put his mitts around that one.
Well, I like the effort of Harding to get in front of the leading player. Just put him off his run.
McPhee attacked that well to Winderlick to Watson. A little poke pass from Nash. Not all that good, although Davey makes it look okay. Zaharakis, Pears, shrugs the tackle, throws it out. Slattery, no prior opportunity, ran into a wall. Tied up, ball up.
And that is fantastic tackling. Last week we saw Essendon running through Carlton's midfield. At the moment, Essendon are not getting a lot of penetration around this area of the ground on the half-back line.
Crowd getting their money's worth at the moment here at Etihad. Simpson to Campbell. Heard the umpire. It was in his best interests if the players knocked it out. He doesn't have to ball it up again, but that's exactly what Troy Pennell will be forced to do.
Just want to have a look at Lucas here. Now, Hansen is playing on his right shoulder. His left shoulder, he's always going to turn on his left. He's got to know that Lucas's right leg's only for balance.
Hill, Zeeble, and he hits the target again, but it wasn't the target he meant to hit. Campbell, dragged down by Quinn. Did he get a kick away? Oh, he spears it from the pocket. Full forward. Big fly, but no mark from Pratt. Danaher, Stanton, Lucas. Now Hill's in the middle, calling for it.
Yeah, he missed him.
I think the umpire was standing next to him. It looked like he had a man on him. Now he gets it.
That's better play. Straight on the bike.
And thumps it along to McPhee. Had the reach. Ryder didn't want to bend down and pick it up. Harvey did. Played for the free and got it.
Your call was right there, Dwayne. I think Ryder had to just slow down and get the ball in his hands because Davey was going to be in an area where he could get a handball off ground level.
Zeeble, Campbell, or Quinn. He takes him on. Zigzag, one way, then the other. Oh, he made him dizzy. And it's marked on the last line of defence by Nash.
It was a great snake run, though, wasn't it? Left and right. Great effort from Quinn, also from Campbell there. That was outstanding.
Danaher kick to Lucas. Spoil. Pratt. Warren. Tucked into the boundary. Goes with a long bomb. Hale in position A.
Well done.
But this will be a tough angle for David Hale. Kick one in the opening term. And he'll be pushed into the gutter here.
Go, 1 metre.
We expect Hale to mark those, though. That was a beautiful kick to his advantage.
Runs around, gets the play on call. Gee, put it high. Gave the goal umpire whiplash, but it's there.
That was a terrific goal. He's the first real tall player that's taken a mark inside forward 50 for either side. And they've got it long. Warren involved again. He's been pretty good. Look at this run by Campbell. He wants his left, but he had to zigzag to shake off the Irishman. And the only thing he let himself down with him was bending the ball around the corner. He should have kicked a drop punt. And then Warren got it in quickly, and you get it in one-on-one like this. Look at the height difference. Just too strong.
Well, Darcy down there ran off, and he'll learn from that also, because then he just spectated the ball for a couple of minutes when it was in Warren's hands. You've got to get back and defend and help support your teammate.
Here we go. Straight on.
28 plays 9. 19-point lead, the biggest of the game. Both ruckmen got a piece of it. Toe poke off the deck from Power, but it finds Stanton. Little too high for Winderlick. Luckily, Slattery was there. Back to Stanton. Back to Dempsey. And now Slattery released in space. Low trajectory bouncing ball to Lucas. Caught. Good tackle that. Couldn't really dispose of it legally. Zeeble. Harvey. Lloyd. Hasn't seen a lot of it yet. Matty Lloyd. Love it.
All the numbers are back here at North Melbourne.
Stanton. Ball handball at his toes and love it. Takes them on. Pops it inside 50. McVeigh to set it up. Dempsey. Confused everybody, including himself. Lloyd kicks around the body. And it's through legs to the boundary line. Out of play.
Just on his non-preferred foot there, unfortunately, Matty Lloyd. Tried to do the team thing, put it on top of the square.
And put some space at the front of the contest here.
Hill slaps it down. Harding bumped off it, dispossessed. Good chance for Watson. Kick smothered. Good contest this. Davey had it, lost it. Lloyd got it, gives it. Watson across the line.
Just want to have a look at this bit of play when the ball got kicked in by Lloyd. What Josh Gibson was doing here. He tried to back heel this. He's tried the scissor kick.
Hill, now he's pushed out Hamish McIntosh, and there's a free kick off the ball. A bit of confusion as to who it's going to. It's McVeigh's.
Going to straight.
Bomber fans reckon they're getting a pretty rough deal here with the free kicks.
The umpire, knowing the nicknames of all the players there, just said, give it the ball back, Turtle. And then he had to say Lee Harding.
It's not nice, given the Turtle is a reflection of how slow he was in his early career, Lee Harding. Mark McVeigh, first game back, first game this year. Ankle ligament strain kept him out for the first 3, and he hits the post.
You hate to say it, but all the warning signs are we have a look at this free kick off the ball.
Just eyes off the ball there. That's the reason the free kick was given.
Gee, must go on at every contest, that.
And more than 5 metres away from the ball, probably.
Just going back to the Bombers, though, they've come off this great win last week, this emotional win. We talked to Matthew Knights about it before the game, the non-drop-off factor, if you like. And you can just see already, North Melbourne really mean business this afternoon. They've been able to close this game up and play it on their terms at the moment.
Harding to Hanson to Urquhart. Holds it up, Gavin Urquhart. His father, Jim, played junior footy at Essendon, played in their under-19s for a while, and then headed up north to Queensland. Hanson, Gibson.
They've worked the ball out well all day, North. They're switching the ball, transferring the play at every opportunity.
Pratt.
Well, the ball's been in the hands of their good ball users.
Smith.
And that's important when you're transferring play. You'll piece your way through this little bit of a maze that the Bombers have got with the flood here, with the zone.
And again, Urquhart.
Campbell can be used short and nearly play on here.
Had the option, decided not to. Is corralled by Watson.
I think they understand that get the ball in on their terms. If they kick it in high and long, Fletcher will come off. So they'll just wait and be patient. Because if they can get a one-on-one inside their forward 50, I think the experience factor will tell in the end.
Possession number 9 for Adam Simpson. Zeeble. All the way back, so they're trying to stretch this Essendon zone out. Put some space in it. Pratt finds Thompson.
Yeah, they've got some open players out this side.
McMahon, he can go. Spears that ball to Brent Harvey.
15 disposals now for Brent Harvey.
Oh, his work rate's right up today. He's getting them at both ends of the ground too.
Puts it to the pocket, hoping for Hale. Missed him.
The beauty of it also, they're giving the ball to pickers, and as you know, you're going through a bit of a rut. You just want to get the feel of the leather in your hands. He's got plenty of that today.
And the ball in. Hale thumped it down. Winderlick, Stanton, Nash. Skipworth spent it before he earned it. Lovett mops up his mess. Hands up to Dempsey, and he runs. There's no one to kick it too long. He might go the journey. He could roll it home here. Hands to Hill. Still no one in the square. Hill looks up. He has McPhee wide. Hits in. Good poise.
Gibson just overplayed it a little bit. The pressure was always on Dempsey, and then he rolled off Hill to allow him to an easy space. You never leave the most dangerous player, and that particular instance was Hill.
Well, he had the pressure on him, Dempsey. The pressure was coming from the other side as well. He just needed to... I completely agree. David Hill got an easy possession that he didn't expect in the finish, and they've ended up having a shot at goals because of it.
So 10 goalless minutes to start this second term for the Bombers. McPhee with the important kick to give them their first. Splits the centre. It's a 12-point lead.
The pressure's been great, but Smithy, that's probably the first time we've seen Essendon run through the half-back line through Dempsey.
Yeah, spoke to Matty Knights before the game, and that's something that he really wanted to introduce was the run from behind. You've seen it with Dempsey there now. Boomer Harvey's an interesting one, boys. You've seen him just before set up that the start of the run. He's opposed to Boomer Harvey. He's basically playing in the back line at the moment. So Boomer Harvey's had 15, but Stanton also had 13. So who wins that duel? Maybe if Boomer Harvey starts to kick a couple of goals, well, that might just take that ledger up to a level.
Picture tells 1,000 words, and you just saw Hill fade off the screen, and Gibson spectated the ball. He had to just stay with Hill because Dempsey was under extreme pressure. He'd already ran 110 metres. He was just about spent. The only thing he could do in the end was probably handball. Gibson made it easy for him.
Halfway through this second term, Watson was almost grabbed before he had it. Davey disposed of it before he had it. Harding back to Hansen. Harding's down hurt. Swallow. Ball bounced kindly for him, and he's away. Throws it on the boot long. Petrie getting back with Simpson. Ball thumped out of play, ball in. Harding now to his feet. And this is the reason why. That's okay. Little toe poke good.
That was clever.
From Swallow. McIntosh, a wobbler. Hale was under it, so was Petrie. Fletcher now taps it out to Stanton, who rolls it further on to Slattery. Caught. Handball to Ryder. Dyson. Stanton stolen by Simpson. Gets the kick to full forward, no one home. He kicked it in hope, and Nash was waiting. To Matty Lloyd, all the way down to half-back. Just to get a piece of leather. Winderlick. Ryder. And now Nash with a wobbler wide. McPhee. Lloyd.
Beautiful kick. Oh, no, sorry, it wasn't in the end.
It looked okay off the boot, but then dropped. Quinn, almost a throw. Matty Lloyd from the pocket. Rolls it toward goal, and he misses.
Just watching Winderling come off the ground, Rowan Smith. He's only had the 7 disposals. Is he fully fit? Because 2 weeks ago he was outstanding.
Yeah, he looks okay. Spoke's just come to the ground for a rest now. He's just on his haunches, just sucking in the wind. But yeah, just as you mentioned before, last couple of weeks ago he had 29 possessions and was terrific.
Swallow. And now Petrie with the rise, and good grab.
He got to get the umpire cooked then. Petrie, then he realised that he paid the mark.
It's probably the difference in the end that Matty Lloyd's kick hit, you know, he missed the shot on goal and he missed Lucas. They're going 60% compared to 80%. Going to this game, Essendon really have to use the ball well because they do run and carry a lot. They've got to hit more targets.
Well, North Melbourne
Ryder with the fist out of play.
Sorry, Dwayne. North Melbourne have had 100 kicks to Essendon's 57. So, I mean, they've got had a lot more of the ball. Essendon certainly handballing a lot more. But North Melbourne preferred to kick it. But a lot of those kicks have been to an uncontested player or a player on his own, basically, trying to get around the zone.
2 ruckmen against 1 there. Thomas. Simpson. Again thumps it to full forward in hope. Petrie.
Did well. This is what we asked for pre-game. This is what North Melbourne have been lacking. An area they've been lacking is tall marking players. We've seen take a couple now. Petrie's starting to get involved in the game as well. Just needs to finish off the work now because they really have had most of the play in this quarter without really putting it on the scoreboard. Only a goal each. 15 minutes of footy.
Stretch the margin out to 17 points again. Biggest it's been today is 18. And North Melbourne looks solid.
Their confidence will grow, Wayne. If Petrie and Hale keep clunking these, have kicked 3 goals between them in a low-scoring game, what it does, it gives your teammates confidence. And also, you just see Stanton there on Brent Harvey. Now, I know he's player conscious. If he had his time again, he could come third man in and just spoil that ball. But spoil the ball, sorry, because Brent Harvey, because he's playing so well, I'll get it out, Pickers, he's playing so well, he's elected to stay down. But when they're playing in song that high ball, just put the spoil in.
Yeah, you're right. Sometimes you've got to take your own eyes off your own opponent and help the team. And on that occasion, he needed a chop out then, Fletcher.
5-4 to 2-5. 16 minutes gone, second term. Ryder in the ruck, and against him, McIntosh. Rawlings going nowhere. Doesn't often get a clearance, Brady Rawlings. We know he's a tagger, but really looks at the ball and attempts a clearance from the ball up. Always looks at his man. So a free kick. It'll be Ferrito's ball. He was held at the ball up.
Let him run. Okay, Michael.
So you can see McIntosh is pushing forward as well. Ryder's not allowing him to get into 50.
Gee, Petrie with some space here. If he can get there, he can't for the mark. Fletcher was right with him, and he brings down Thomas with a high one to the ear. Thomas still down. North Melbourne portion of the crowd don't like that. Umpire didn't see anything wrong with it, and we'll have a look at the replay.
Well, he's still down, Thomas. Great intent by Fletcher. Was the execution right? We'll have a look.
No, he didn't quite get the ear, just the back of the head.
Well, it was a free kick. It was too high.
Dyson steals and then throws that away. Davey did well. Put his head down. Skipworth with a 1-2 and Winderlick.
We've got some space here.
Love it. Just a wobbler towards McPhee, and it went through his hands. It didn't really spiral in the air, hard to mark, but that's really no excuse for a player of his experience. Monfree's dumped to pick the grass from his teeth. Biggest Monfrees as Harvey runs away with the ball to Power. And now Warren. Handball smothered back to Harvey. Power out of play. Warren was out of play. Short pass to Lower. Boundary umpire was right there.
Good running.
Give him the benefit. Back to Warren to finish off the movement, and he can't. Hale marks on the line.
Well, another fat side kick. I know he's going for a shot on goal, but the positioning on the tall players at the moment, the high ball, they're playing too far in front, the young Bomber defenders.
Yeah, he just needs to think his way through this. He did it on the other side. We probably need to go nearly with the left foot here.
And as you see, he has two, David Hale. Holds for the banana. Gives it some spin. Hits a little post. Only a behind.
Well, that's a let-off. That's a let-off because McPhee, he's dropped 2 sitters today. You should mark those.
Yeah.
Just took his eyes off the ball at the last minute. And then at ground level, North just crunched them. So at the moment, the game's played on North Melbourne's terms, but Lloyd's dropped 2, McPhee's dropped 2, and Ryder's dropped 1 in their forward 50.
Fletcher took them on from fullback to Zaharakis, Watson, and now Lucas getting back Monfrees. Thumb clear. Good chance, Davey. Backtracks. Skipworth doesn't want to have the shot. Gives to Watson. Time to size them up. Misses.
That's a let-off. Hit down to Rowan Smith. McPhee dragged for that drop mark, Smithy.
Spud, I was just going to jump in before he comes straight from the ground, straight onto the phone. He was very disappointed, Man United, with that one as well. Boys, too, Matthew Campbell's just had some work on his right hamstring. He's just emerged from underneath the grandstand, so he's just stretching it at the moment on the bench, so I'll keep you updated with him.
Well, what's worse, the McPhee drop mark or the Watson missed goal?
Well, I think they were just as bad as each other. Watson it's the one part of his game he's got to get much better at. I mean, no pressure, running in 30 metres out directly in front.
And he was benched more than any other player in the last 2 years under Kevin Sheedy, and there was that discussion whether Sheedy just didn't like him or whether he couldn't stand the turnover rate.
Well, it wasn't a great kick, but they've had their opportunities, Essendon. Inside 50s are 19 each. They've had opportunities, drop marks, that missed goal from Watson. Their key forwards are down there to take the big grab. And at the other end, their forwards are marked here, Petrie and Hale.
I'll go as far as to say I don't think the Bombers could play much worse than they are at the moment. With it, drop marks, turnovers, lack of intensity, and they're only 3 goals down. So there's a positive side for Essendon if they can get their act together.
Zeeble, Warren, Pratt, Harding, Power, all getting a touch as they get some boos. Short now to Hansen. Essendon forced to man up. Urquhart. Harding. So they stretch the Bombers now, and some space emerges.
The Bomber fans are booing, but they really should be getting their team to actually start going to the direct opponents. Because if they're going to play the zone, North Melbourne are quite within their rights to do this. It's the best way to get around it.
Good fist, Zaharakis. Hit that contest hard. Not a big player, obviously a young player. And good to see him hit it hard and thump that ball out of play. He is picked 23 in last year's draft. Back into the sunshine. Simpson. Petrie. Warren. Good movement this. Zeeble. See if he hits the target again. Thumps it long. Lindsay Thomas. Hale. All down there. Neither can get it. Little toe poke. Clever from Quinn. Dyson. Danger here. Fletcher. Pears. Keeping the ball alive. Skipworth. Bouncing ball. Zaharakis. Brilliant trap. Hands off to Quinn, and because of it, they're away. Although Davey waited for it. Bad option. Lucas. And Davey now can run. Ran too fast for it. Standing from Monfries. And now McVeigh in a one-on-one with McMahon. Half dragged down, half held. Love it. Boundary line. Played for the push. Didn't get it.
Umpire was perfectly positioned then. He tried to take the dive forward. Umpire was right there. This is a good contest, one-on-one here.
That's where you need Lloyd or Lucas, though, not McVeigh.
Well, they were the short targets there. They went long. They went long to McVeigh.
From the ball up, thumped out. And then back in towards Petrie. Made a little high. Watson to make amends. Should kick it. Sprays it. It's across the face and out of play on the full.
Now, I'm assuming he was trying to centre that to his teammate. I think it was Lloyd. He was trying to square it up there, Joe.
The only time again he can nearly handball it that far because he's a terrific handball. He's under a lot of pressure.
They're not a big goal kicker, just 4 goals last year, just 6 goals the year before for Joe Watson, and just one goal so far this year. That is a good free kick to win, and the Bomber fans extremely happy with that effort from Lovett.
Well, that's the first time I've seen Essendon go lower and harder. For the 50-50 ball, you can just sense Essendon now, with just under 4 minutes to go, are starting to relish the contest.
Well, he's looking for some support behind Lovett, so he doesn't think he can make the distance. Look at him. Eyes are darting around.
Has one today.
Just popped that up.
Not enough air, that one. Lloyd's down there, tried to nudge the pack out, and that's a nothing kick. When you kick to the goal line, you nearly need to kick it to the top of the goal square so it can't be thumped through or have the shot.
Well, where he kicked the ball, he gave Lloyd no area to run into. He couldn't move, so you're right, Dwayne. Put the ball 30 metres so Lloyd then could at least run, attack and cause a contest.
Now, he hasn't got a little escape clause here called the put behind post.
Gibson to Thompson, to Pratt, caught. Gets it to Power, just the required 15. Although the Bomber fans have the tape measures out.
We might have to get Rowan Smith at half-time to get the tape measure out on that one, Smithy.
I don't know where the umpire's getting his measurements from, boys.
Well, it's got a goal square that's 10 metres right next to it. Swallow.
They're out here, North. Ferrito gets used.
Quinn's with him, and the boundary line might beat them both. Relief for Essendon. We're inside 3 minutes to half-time, and some more boos ring around Etihad Stadium. 16 points the margin. It's been out to 18.
Oh, he's gone.
Play on, you heard the call. Adam Simpson puts his hand up, wanting a free. Doesn't get the call. It's had a big couple of weeks. Adam Simpson with the chicken video situation that most people are over, but he's finding it difficult to get over it himself. He's admitted that. Hopefully he will soon and be back to playing his best footy ever. And again, we might get a ball up. Simpson tackled, dropped it. Skipworth does well. Handed off to Dyson, who was caught. Back to Skipworth, and he skips through traffic. Release kick to Watson. If it bounces, he can run. Urquhart holds him up. Inboard to Davey. Bounce pass, too hard to pick up. Davey needed that on his chest, and it didn't hit him. Power with the turnover, finds Hale. And now North Melbourne on the rebound, a chance to score.
Get it in there quickly. There's only 2 defenders in there at the moment.
We've got Hale on Pears here.
A good kick.
Smith couldn't take the mark. The kick wasn't too bad.
He should have taken that mark.
What's the difference in the end in this game of footy, Pickers? Because North Melbourne have taken 9 marks inside their forward 50 to the Bombers 2.
Which was an area we talked about pre-game, North Melbourne lacking in. So they've been good so far.
McIntosh with the palm down, but to Dyson. So the seconds roll. We're down to a minute and a half. McPhee, some applause for him taking the mark cleanly. Lloyd's in a good spot here. Ferrito, Lloyd!
That's better.
Trademark Matty Lloyd.
That was a terrific kick. Ferrito came up his direct opponent McVeigh, but the kick was so good. Ferrito had nowhere to go, and Lloyd, he was smart enough just to ease him under the ball. And this is a very good play.
Well, look how he got on his bike here, McPhee. See, look, when he looked up, he actually had some space to work because he didn't go back and kick it over the man on the mark.
896 career goals, staring at 900. 8th on the all-time goal kickers list in AFL, VFL history. For his first of the afternoon, loves it. In the shadows of half-time, Matty Lloyd provides.
They're in this game up to their ears, Essendon. They only need a couple of these marks from... There's Lately going off in the box. Probably not happy with the space that Lloyd had to lead into. But they're right in this game, and you're right, Liam. The play on instantly from McPhee. If he can get into the game and get more of these counter-attacks going, we just see off the ball there a little bit of a push and shove in the forward 50 for
well, that's more of a
Essendon.
That's more than a push and shove.
This is a box on. Well, Essendon trying to get themselves into this game. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there.
Emergency umpire out there.
Wasting a lot of energy when you've got one last chance to score.
40 seconds and counting. Hill in the ruck, knocks it down in the Winderlick direction. Arms free, but handball smothered. Dyson rolls in, ties it up. Ball up. 10 points the margin. Here's the McPhee Russell, if you like.
Oh, he's just come back from a week's suspension. Needs to be careful.
Hill, quick. Zaharakis.
He's starting to run.
Knows how to use it. Heads to Lloyd. Got hands to it. Couldn't mark it. Back to Zaharakis. To Davey. Runs to 50. Has some time. Spends it poorly. Lockie Hansen. He can chew these seconds up.
Scotty Lucas on the bench and Ryder. So Lloyd led up the ground. I think he just assumed it was going to be a tall marking player there, but both Essendon forward-line players, Lucas and Ryder, on the bench.
Half-time at Etihad Stadium. We mentioned earlier the crowd getting their money's worth. They can't wait for the second half to get underway. Good finish to the first, but North Melbourne lead by 10. 5-5-35. Essendon 3-7-25.
North Melbourne by 10 points over the Bombers. David Hale with a couple of goals up forward. Boomer Harvey back into some real touch with 17 first half possessions. Power's been very good as well for the Bombers. Well, Stanton and Watson are getting plenty of it, but their boys at the moment, the Bomber players, not that great. we have a look at some of the statistics in the first half, Spud, and the marks inside 50 are like.
That's the tale. Taylor Petrie marked a few. Lloyd, Lucas and McPhee have dropped a plenty. The tackle count, North Melbourne went into this game knowing that to tackle hard the Essendon runners, 37 to 27. But to me, the difference is North Melbourne forwards marking it, Essendon forwards dropping them.
Yeah, let's have a look at some of the highlights of that in the first half. We came into this game thinking that was an area North Melbourne would probably struggle. They've struggled in the first 3 games, but they've been pretty good today.
Well, they're ranked 13th in the competition, marks inside the forward 50. But if you're going to take marks, it needs to be Hale. He's kicked 2, Petrie's kicked 1, and they've been great kicks. Long to advantage for these tall forwards. They're always going to be a chance. If they do drop them, Campbell and Thomas can get to work also. And there we see Petrie pushing down forward. And I think that's good because it makes Fletcher play one-on-one. So 3 goals from those boys is a good output.
I reckon he's worked pretty hard, Drew Petrie, so far in the first half of this game. He's been a very good player. He's pushed up the ground a little bit more as well. The Bombers, well, we wanted to see some speed from the Bombers, some run, but it hasn't really happened. Andrew Lovett showed one passage of play was just sensational, though.
Well, the run and carry from the Bombers, they need that, but to North Melbourne's credit, they've tackled well. They need more of this. They need more of Lovett and Courtney Dempsey running the ball through. And Alwyn Dave and these guys, they need more excitement. This is probably the play of the day for mine. Courtney Dempsey just taking the opposition on. We saw McPhee play on continually, and Dempsey just handballs the ball to Hill for a very clever goal in the end. And Matty Knights will be imploring his half-back line, more importantly, his on-ballers, to run and carry and take them on. If North are going to tackle, let's just keep taking them on.
Well, you'd have to say that North Melbourne's pressure's probably forced the Bombers. They haven't run enough, we know that, but their pressure's been outstanding in the first half. And if it's an area that if they keep this up, it's going to be a very difficult afternoon for Essendon.
Oh, they've been in and under. The game's been played on their terms. They've got one-on-ones all over the ground. We just see every time the Bombers get the ball, the pack mentality, they're hunting in packs, they're coming off the lines, the tackling's been absolutely outstanding. We see McPhee drop a mark here, but have a look at the efforts of North Melbourne after the ball hits the ground. You see the players here and just the pack mentality again. They're lower and harder at the moment, North Melbourne, and that's an area that Essendon need to pick up on.
Yeah, look, the Bombers have only kicked 3 goals for the half.
They're in the game.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're not playing at all well. They've hardly taken a mark inside 50. They've turned it over when they've had opportunities, but there's just something about the Kangaroos haven't put them away as yet, and I think the Bombers are still well in it.
Well, they're right in it, because if Lloyd clunks a couple, Lucas, McPhee, throw David Hill down there at times, they're right up into this game, into their ears.
Well, you see Scott Camporelli there talking to his midfield group, and they're going pretty well here, the Bombers. I reckon they think they're a bit of a sneaky chance here. We'll come back with a bit more after the break. It's some Kangaroos at half-time by 10 points.
Half-time at Etihad Stadium, and we're not really all that much closer to knowing who's going to win this one. It's a tight, hard, tough contest. 10-point lead to North Melbourne at the long change, 5-5 to 3-7. Bright sunshine here in Melbourne today, and there is one other game being played in Melbourne today as the Bombers get together in their huddle. It's at the MCG in Richmond, and the Demons in a crucial clash, and the Tigers an early lead 19 minutes into the opening term, 2-3-15 to Melbourne 1-3-9. The Bombers will be forced to come from behind if they're to win today and make it 3 wins in a row, which is what they're aiming for. Bombers did have a big win last time these two teams met. 55 points they won by, but it's been over a year since they played, these two. Last time they met, strangely enough, was round 1 last year, and they didn't meet again for the rest of the season. Matty Lloyd kicked 6 that day here at Etihad Stadium, and it was 19 goals to 9. The Bombers winning by 55, so perhaps they've got the confidence to come back from this 10-point deficit at half-time. Rowan Smith's downstairs. Welcome back, Rowan.
Thanks, Dwayne. I reported during the second quarter that young Matt Campbell from the North Melbourne Kangaroos was struggling with a right hamstring injury. He's just sitting on the bench at the moment. Didn't even do the warm-up with the team just after half-time. So he spent the last 15 minutes on the bench in that second quarter. So it's probably fair to say that he won't take any further part in this game today, boys.
If Essendon to win this game, all they've got to do is concentrate on their ball use. They're going at 58% effective kicks compared to North Melbourne, 82%. But another amazing stat, and I don't like looking at stats, but North Melbourne have marked the ball 92 times to Essendon's 27. So if Lloyd, Lucas and McPhee can get their hands on it, they can still win this game of football.
10 points the margin. Saw Darcy Danaher there on David Hale. Big job that for the man playing in game number 6. We're underway. Farito with the clearance. And Darcy Danaher wins that battle against Hale. Played front spot. Very clever. Kick not so good. And it might come back to his man. Harvey, Simpson, Harvey, McIntosh. Rawlings forced to backtrack.
Still loose.
He's still loose. They'll get it to him.
Hanson wide. Thomas. Harvey peeling to the pocket. Hale still loose. He is screaming for it. And short to Warren instead. So Fletcher gets back now to lend a hand.
He's still on his own. I cannot believe this. I can't believe this.
So Warren throws it up, and that is a free, you'd think.
Now, we're not joking when we said that. The ball has gone from one side of the ground to the other, and David Hale, who is 200 centimetres, is standing on his own in the goal square.
For over a minute.
You're right. Darcy Danaher turned the ball over, but he had 45 to 60 seconds to get back onto Hale. Just watch the ball too long.
Gee, Matty Knights will be headless up in the coach's box about that.
David Hale already has 2 today. This should be a formality. And he's hit the post from 20 metres out. And for those people at home who can't believe that, these players are on 3, 4, some of them $500,000 a year, and you would think they'd be able to kick goals from directly out from 20.
Well, that's unacceptable. And in round 1 last year, Dwayne, when these two sides met, North Melbourne butchered the ball in front of goal and the Bombers ran away with it.
Harvey, nice little step ladder there.
Now, Jay Nash is actually a good kick. And he's kicked that off the back step and kicked it straight on top of his teammate's head, Quinn, and just allowed Harvey just to sit on his shoulders, basically, and take an easy mark.
So let's see if the captain can kick the goal. He's got one today. Starts it left, bends it back, and squeezes it home. Perfect start for North Melbourne.
It took the skipper, Brent Harvey, to show some polish. He's had 20 disposals and just over a half a footy and 2 goals. By far and away the best player on the ground, and he's using the ball beautifully also.
Now look at this, one-step kick. Look at that. Now, Jay Nash is actually a really good kick. And that was that's a one-step chip kick, low percentage. What hope did Quinn have?
Not only that, Pickers, he kicked the ball over the man on the mark, which meant that the ball had to have elevation. It was a risky kick for a start, and you're right, off the back step, but kicked it over the player's fingernails, which meant the elevation on the ball was always going to give a player like Harvey a chance to mark the ball.
Essendon are yet to start the second half. Horrid minute and a half to start the term for the Bombers and the umpire.
I think it's a good initiative, this though.
Yep.
Just quickly get it back and throw it up. Get on with it.
Square reset. And taking out of the ruck, McIntosh wobbles it towards half forward and lower front spot, which is the spot to be for the quick kick forward. Has been for 150 years. Kick half smothered, a wobbler. Thomas, Stanton, Zaharakis, Fletcher. Still under siege at the moment, the Bombers. Slattery, not a lot to go to. Pokes that to Stanton, not 15. Play on, under siege again. Warren, bottom of the pack. Ball up.
We said at half-time that there was positive for Essendon. They haven't really got going yet, but if any indication, the first 4 minutes of this quarter is that they may not even get going at all this afternoon, because North Melbourne's pressure is just far intense and too intense for Essendon, and also that their ball use at the moment is abysmal, Essendon.
Hill and Petrie both got a piece of it, but they'll have to do it again.
Spudsy spoke about Darcy Danaher not picking up Hale for about 45 to 60 seconds. He's paying for the price, mate. Just come straight to the bench.
Well, the thing was, he attacked the ball so well, then turned it over, and then basically got lost. Now, I like the way he plays, Darcy, and I think he's going to be a really good defender. But he's got to get back to his man a bit quicker than that.
Harvey had it and then lost it. Fletcher, Nash, Watson. Inboard, he puts Stanton under pressure. Zeeble gets the crumb, gives to Simpson, sidesteps a couple, Wobbles it to full forward. Dempsey down there couldn't mark.
Pressure.
Dispossessed. Lower. Tackled by 2. Gets his arms through. It's through for a behind. And they escape there by the skin of their teeth, the Bombers.
They desperately need, you just see the contest here.
Hold there, David.
Great effort from Dempsey there, playing in front.
Hold there.
But for mine now, Essendon definitely need the next goal. No momentum whatsoever from the Bombers.
Fletcher to Stanton to Winderlich. 43 plays 25. 18 points the margin. Quinn with some space to use. Sends it in the Lucas direction. Great half volley, Lucas. Caught. Gives to Lloyd. Thought about the left. Goes by hand. McPhee. Scott Thompson.
Well done,
Calm
Smith.
down Urquhart. In fact, it was Smith. The Ferrito, toe poke. And now Dempsey.
He just ran into traffic. Dempsey had players on his outside. He's elected to go inboard.
And horrible handle back to Smith. Gave to Harvey. He's dragged down long after he got rid of it. Not that he got rid of it legally. Davey, he's caught. Stripped of it by Quinn. Hands to Zaharakis. Now to Stanton. It opens up for Stanton. Looks up. Kicks smothered. Can you believe this start for the Bombers?
This is horrendous.
Simpson, McMahon, McIntosh, or Harding left behind now.
You can see why Essendon had 98 handballs compared to 80 kicks.
Pass. Watson. A bounce pass to McVeigh. Back to Watson. Chips it. And the mark taken by Paddy Ryder. Tucked into the pocket.
Zaharakis is in the corridor looking for a long switch of play.
Gee, it'd have to be a low, speedy kick to get it to him, though.
Well, he wouldn't have got it there in time. But that passage of play, I reckon that was possibly a minute of some of the worst disposal skills I reckon you'd ever see. From both sides.
And the conditions are perfect. Not a breath of wind.
Big kick this for Paddy Ryder. Starts it right, bends it back a little, but nowhere near enough. And he'll be disappointed with that. Pick 7 back in 2005, Paddy Ryder, but Essendon admitting they would have taken him if they had pick 1. They would have taken him ahead of Dale Thomas and Mark Murphy and Scott Pendlebury. They rated him the #1 pick that year. Lower.
Good running from Rawlings, but ordinary kick.
McVeigh.
One step, off one step again.
On the left.
Dempsey to McPhee. He can turn and go. Turns. Goes. No one comes at him. 48 from goal. He misses. Stretching this ugly patch a little longer.
Last week, McVeigh would have got that ball and just played on instantly. He played on but stood still.
Yep.
Run towards goal and something will happen. You'll either get a handball receive or kick the ball.
Lloyd.
Oh, my God.
Look,
Of all the people to kick it into.
this 5 minutes of play,
Yeah. It won't be for the time
I think both
capsule.
coaches, when they do the review, they'll just press fast forward on this 5 minutes.
You couldn't have had a worse few minutes of football if you tried.
You'd see better football
One step again.
at the local park. And Lloyd has a chance here.
And these kicks are turned over with no pressure on them whatsoever.
He can pull a full stop and end this ugly passage. Should be a formality. Matty Lloyd, precise as always, and they're back in it.
Well, that's why Lloyd and Harvey are the captains of both these teams, because they are doing the predictable thing. They're kicking the kickable goal and they hit the hittable target. And that, again, just off one step on the back foot, and it was going to a 3-on-1 anyway. So if you're going to make a mistake in the back half, make it long and wide, at least give your defenders, or more important, the players up the field, a chance to defend it. But that's undefendable, that kick.
Well, he's had a pretty good game, Lloyd. He's kicked a couple. He's had 11 disposals. He's worked up the ground. I reckon his attack on the footy's been pretty good. But not much Scotty Thompson can do when your teammate decides to kick the ball straight to your opponent, 20 metres out from goal, from a kick in.
It'd be frustrating for both coaches sitting in the box at the moment. The skill level.
Paddy Ryder in the ruck against him, McIntosh. Ball down to Watson. They're away again. The Bombers short. Winderlich. Skipworth feeds it back. Love it. Doesn't take them on with run. Heads back to Winderlich. Lloyd's calling it to the square. Lloyd still calling it to the square. It's shorter. Lucas within range.
That's a beautiful kick. And you've got to be patient because North Melbourne now are rolling a couple behind the ball. They sense that the Bombers have got some momentum, so put the ball in there on your terms. Wait till you've got some one-on-ones, and that was an excellent target.
Had the set shot from this pocket, 50 out. In the opening term, elected not to run around. And he hits the same spot with the same leg. He's had to play on the full twice in a row from that spot today.
Unlike Scott Lucas, he's normally a really good finisher, especially around the 50 mark, but he's hit both of them on the inside of his foot. And they've both, as you say, Dwayne, they've both gone pretty much out on the full.
He's got 4 goals, 6 for the season, which is, as you said, un-Lucas-like. From that kick, Lucas gets it on cue. Caught, though, by Power. Dragged down, tied up. No prior opportunity. And ball up.
Not sure whether the handball was the first option there from Scotty.
Not a natural handball, I would have said.
Is that a compliment? Not a natural handball.
He plays to his strengths. He's got a long left foot.
10 points the margin. Swallow dragged down, not too high. The tackle did drift high. No free. Umpire sorted out again.
Coming straight back.
McIntosh and Ryder. McIntosh with the palm down, but to Lovett. Caught. Stripped of it. Back to Ryder. Hands to Davey. And Stanton bumped out by Lou Harding. Good option. Took him across the line. Ball in. Intensity's lifted in the last minute and a half. Back into play quickly. Ryder with a slap down wide. Urquhart got there quick. Rawlings hands it off, but stolen by Davey. No prior opportunity again. Another ball up.
No easy possession at the moment. A lot of these stoppages around there. At the moment, it's just a game of wills. No clean possession.
Okay, so Lovett was held by Rawlings.
We've got Lloyd deep in the square if he can move the ball quickly.
And Ryder half held by McIntosh. Throws it up. Lloyd sits under this. Got it! What about the way he read that? He fooled everybody. But Lloyd knew the drop zone. The moment that hit the boot, he knew exactly the 20-cent piece that ball would have fallen on.
It was outstanding. And Daniel Pratt, he'd love to have his time again. We just see here Paddy Ryder and McIntosh. Not a lot in it, but it's a free kick. But have a look at the marking situation. You see Brett the right of screen. Yeah. Daniel Pratt, he just didn't quite get there in time, but you called it, Dwayne. The drop zone was outstanding.
He avoided body contact. Thompson was looking to find the body, and Lloyd was a bit clever.
For number 899 for Matty Lloyd's career, he'll get 50.
Free kick against Essendon for
Oh, free kick against Essendon.
Too many players on.
Matty Lloyd won't get the chance to kick it at all.
Boundary throw it here on the interchange with Rowan Smith.
Yeah, boys, Essendon just got confused there. There is a free kick against them. They tried to make 4 changes at once, but one player actually went on the ground before the other one came off.
Oh, that hurts.
That is a momentum killer.
And they're the rules. We know that.
Yep.
So it's a free kick from where the ball was, plus 50.
And the thing about it, Lloyd, it was a closed play, so Lloyd was shooting for goal. There was no need to get the players out there that quick. Matty Knights won't be too happy with that one.
Gee whiz, that is a big... In the context of a low-scoring game, Lloyd about to kick his third. Ouch.
Especially if North Melbourne get one from this 4A forward. Rawlings, a wobbler, bouncing ball. Hill tapped it to his own advantage, gives off to Slattery. Monfries, Slattery, ducks into the Smith tackle. He's dead. Holding the ball. Free kick, North Melbourne. Their tackling's been superb today.
Not sure why Slattery's arguing, but you take the tackler on, you get tackled. It's holding the ball, young fella.
He was saying that he was over the boundary line. But I don't think he could tell. He had his head.
He ran into a big wall.
Play on now. Play on. He got called. And he was outside the boundary line as it was called. Dyson. Lloyd.
They're away here, the Bombers.
Slattery, no one to kick too long. Needs to hold it or go short. Head short. Zaharakis hasn't got a lot to go to either. Back to Slattery. Caught, dumped, dragged down, tripped. Dyson.
Terrible.
Missed the target. McMahon.
That's the last thing he needed to do then. Last thing he could have done then. He just could have held the ball. He should have held the ball up a bit longer and gone the longer option to Lucas. which may have been his intention, but he's just basically turned it straight over to North Melbourne.
Warren on the open side to Hale, had the reach.
It's such an important thing in today's football. Don't go in on the opposition terms. And what I mean by that is North Melbourne had extra numbers. Just get an extra possession outside the 50, then you get a one-on-one, then go in.
Torito. 10 points the margin, as it was at half-time. Centering kick, Lockie Hansen.
Good lead from Petrie.
And he might get there. He makes the yardage and drops to mark.
He was spent when he got there, I reckon.
Skipworth, still no excuse.
No.
Fletcher, inboard, Lucas.
You'll have to transfer the play here, Lucas.
Well, he ran into trouble there. Lloyd is wide. He gets there. Monfries. Dempsey. Needs to hit a target. McPhee's inside 50. Lucas outside 50. Takes the mark. Plays for 50. Doesn't get it. McMahon tells him.
Oh, what's he doing?
Thumps it long. Back of the pack, Winderlich. Couldn't take the mark. Dives in. Gets the free.
Great second effort. Great second effort from Winderlich. He dropped the ball, but he didn't worry about the drop mark. He thought, I've still got a chance to win some ball, and he drew a free kick here.
Been in the best form of his career, Jason Winderlich, and bends that around with perfection. And the margin's cut to 4.
Well, they needed that goal, Dwayne. They needed that goal because about 90 seconds ago, we'll go down to Rowan Smith. You just see Winderlich's second effort here. Drop the mark, and that's a perfect example for any youngster. Don't worry about the mistake. Stay in the game. We just see him drop the ball, and there he is. Just hunts the ball, draws a free kick, and a very good goal. Just bent it around. But we'll head down to you, Rowan Smith. If there's any more on that interchange, because that could be costly for Essendon.
What happened, Spud, that Essendon wanted to make 4 changes at once, but the 4 had run onto the ground before the 4th person had actually come off the ground. So they effectively had 19 on the field for about 5 seconds only. But obviously with the umpires down here on the interchange bench, they paid the free kick straight away and robbed Matty Lloyd of a goal.
We just see Ashley Prescott there talking to the Essendon interchange steward. So obviously he's easy to be burning.
Watson had it, but couldn't get it up. Harvey had it, couldn't get it to a teammate either. Still in the middle. Winderlich shuffles it out. Rawlings, Farito, Harvey, Harding, and now Hale on the end of the long ball. Dives, doesn't take the mark. Well played, Courtney Dempsey. Takes them on with the handball to Davey. He's got the speed, gives to Watson. Needs to kick a long ball in the Lloyd direction. Does so. Lloyd's under it. Good fist. Pratt got back. Knocked it down. Thompson ran into a wall.
He's gone.
He's still got it. He's still got it.
No
prior opportunity, according to Ray Chamberlain. But he's not the Essendon fans' favourite right now.
But Pickers, did he take the tackler on initially with Lloyd?
I reckon he did.
Or he didn't have prior?
I'll have a look at that.
See, Chamberlain just throws that in the air. Hill was expecting a bounce. And that allowed McIntosh to go at it on his own. Hanson thumps this long. Fletcher stands under it. Lindsay Thomas makes the contest. Fletcher.
Oh, well done, Farito.
Stolen by Farito, and here's away.
Yeah,
open forward line. Big long bang in the Hale direction. Pears feeds back. Courtney Dempsey likewise. Gets it to Pears. Quinn can run. Gathers. Runs back into space. Stanton. Can go into the corridor if he wants to. Doesn't really want to. Back to Pears. Toward Lovett. He's got 3 to beat here.
Lovett, 3 on 1.
Well, Hale's got loose forward. If they can get it in long, Zeeble will get it to him.
Well, Dempsey's got to go back into Hale now.
Petrie to Zeeble to Hale. Stands under it and marks with ease.
If you can kick in this modern game, you've got a position in AFL footy. Zeeble's a magnificent kick. That was important. Now, David Hale, last opportunity he got from a similar distance, he sprayed it at the post. Has to, because the momentum swing is really with Essendon at the moment. He needs to finish off.
And the young Bulldog defenders need to get a balance. It's okay to run and carry, but you're there to win or halve a contest. Too many times Hale was left on his own to take an easy mark.
Petrie is important there too.
20 gone.
Umpire giving him the hurry up. 20 seconds gone with his 30-second allocation. He forced the goal umpire to do some work. He has 3.
Right, let's have a look at this other end of the ground. Here's Lloyd. Now, let's have a look whether he took him on. He tried to break one tackle. Well, no one's really tackling him, are they? I think that's probably fair and reasonable.
Yeah, the ball's still free in the end. Good decision by the umpire.
Did well here, Big Petrie.
We might head down to Rowan Smith with the Essendon back half. They run on Smithy, but they all get up the ground too much for mine to allow Hale an easy mark like this.
They're trying to exploit Hale, but it's not working for them at the moment, Spud, because they've turned the ball over in the midfield too often, and Hale's just sitting back, allowing his opponent to charge up the ground. But yeah, as I said, they turned the ball over and getting into Hale, and he's just on his own with no opponent inside 50.
Margin back to 10 points. Petrie in the ruck now against Hill, and Petrie, he got the handball out, but it was to Watson, to Zaharakis, Monfries, and now McPhee. Had the two grabs at it, but dumps it.
He's had the fumbles today, McPhee.
Hanson, a little 1-2 with McMahon, and now wide to Pratt.
Well, that hurts. He should be either spotting a target inside the forward 50. Now all the Essendon forwards have to defend to try and force North Melbourne to turn the ball over.
Petrie.
It's a good option.
Kick.
That's a good option.
Quick fire handoff from Smith to Zeeble to Hale, and he can have another shot.
I think Dustin Fletcher's going to have to go back at some stage. I know they'll bring Hale up the ground and drop Petrie, but for mine, Fletcher needs to play full back now if Essendon to win this game of footy.
Well, he's become the dangerous forward on the ground. Lloyd and Hale are the two most likely forwards at the moment, with Petrie playing more up the ground. If he can finish this off, 4 goals out of 8 will be a good afternoon's work already.
He is normally an accurate kick, David Hale. 37 goals, 19 last year, including that big bag of 8 against Geelong in round 21. This for his 4th for today.
I like that.
Yeah, good off the boot. Good kick. Even better in the air. Splits the middle.
4 goals. Very good performance. Just need to get a balance. They'll be trying to get Dustin Fletcher at least around near the Hale area, because he looks like the danger man at the moment, because if they allow him one-on-ones for the rest of the game, you'd think North Melbourne, with even entries from Essendon and North Melbourne, they'll win this game of football. So I'll be interested to see whether Dustin Fletcher just stays around the area and allows his direct opponent to go up the ground. Because at the moment we've got young Tate Pearce on Hale, and that's okay, I don't mind it, but they somehow need to manufacture an area where Fletcher can come in with his big spoils.
You see Hale there pushing Zeeble out of the way. And so they play Lindsay Thomas and Hale in the goal square.
Wobbly ball up from the umpire. Zaharakis thought he had it. Stolen by Harvey. Runs to 48. Sends the drop punt home. Classic Brent Harvey.
Wow, what a brilliant centre clearance. You talk about winning a ball out of the centre. That's the second best one of the day. I reckon the Lovett one was just as good. Harvey's been outstanding this afternoon. He's had 23 touches. Let's have a look at how this unfolds. No sweeper. Oh no, they just knocked it forward, and he just knows on the run he's a beautiful finisher. And we can go all the way back to that Matthew Lloyd. I reckon that shot at goal that he was lining up 30 metres. Since then, North Melbourne have kicked 3 goals, and the momentum swing has been enormous.
Essendon players complaining to the umpire as we speak about that poor bounce. And it led to that clearance. So from the bounce, it was heading North Melbourne's way. They just had to keep barrelling it forward. Biggest lead of the game right now. 22 points, and there's another shocker.
Come on, Ray, just maybe throw it up. He's having a bad little run here.
Well, that one went Essendon's way, and he recalled it. Didn't recall the one that went North Melbourne's way.
Oh, sorry, gents, he just said.
Standard with the clearance. Gibson.
I should have tackled there, Hill.
Tried to bump him, bad option. Long kick toward the outer side, Scott Thompson, and it's a little high, as you heard.
Yeah, fend off. So it's to Harvey.
Okay.
Well, don't argue. Got him on the chin.
Harvey pops it up towards Lockie Hanson. Stood under it, and Quinn got him.
Well, he's paid the mark. I'm not sure whether he held the mark. It was definitely a free kick. Umpire paid the mark there.
Umpire appreciation round, of course, Danny. This round.
That's good to see. We need plenty of umpires.
Lower. Yes, we need plenty of them. Any good ones? As McIntosh takes it out.
Just want to see David Hill here. Must tackle.
Yeah.
You go to the bump, you tackle that, he's got to dispose of the ball. Essendon in the game. You must tackle at every opportunity in today's football. Missed tackles are crucial.
And Ferrito ducks into that, doesn't get the free. Matty Lloyd on the bench at the moment for Bomber fans. Zaharakis taken across the line. And holding the ball. That's hot. Umpire appreciation round hasn't sunk in over that part of the crowd.
There's a few angry Bomber fans there, you fair to say.
Swallow. And he kicks it out of bounds on the full. That brings some joy.
Well, when you've got McIntosh and Hale and Petrie on top of the square, you'd think the best option. We just see the Swallow free here. Not a lot in that. But the Swallow kick went out in the full. When you've got your three tallest players on top of the square, wouldn't you think the percentage is to go there, especially the way Hale's playing?
I would have thought so. I reckon that was a free kick. I reckon the umpire got it right looking at that replay.
Zaharakis kick cut off by Pratt. They have this game by the scruff of the neck right now, North Melbourne. Rawlings, lower. Momentum their way. We're edging close to three-quarter time. 26 minutes on the clock, 3 left. Lower.
Here's McIntosh.
He's got to sit here. Hands to it. 3 Bombers spoil. Danaher back on after serving his penance on the bench. Hands to Davey. Not a lot to go too long. Dyson likewise. Forced to go to Lucas. McVeigh leads wide. He's got 2 to beat. Might beat them both here. Peels back onto it. Caught by Hanson. Dragged down. That's a win for the Bombers. Keep it in the area.
If the stats stay the way they are, North Melbourne's tackling 55 to 38, but kicking effectiveness again, 61% Essendon, but 105 kicks. They've turned 41 of them over.
Petrie towards the boundary. It bounced out, so that won't be deliberate.
So the game of football, we're being over 3 quarters. They've had 60 effective kicks.
Probably sums up where they're at. They've only kicked 5 goals.
Let him run. Free kick, Joe Watson.
Free kick to Joe Watson off the ball from umpire Ray Chamberlain. And Job has a chance to just nail this off the boot.
Go through.
And get his confidence with his kicking back.
Will take his best. And obviously he's the best clearance player in the Bombers. There's no doubting that. We just have a look at the replay here again. Hang on, that's a free kick.
Now, Job's set shots aren't as bad as his on-the-run stuff. He does tend to shank him a bit. But technically, he's not the worst kick in the AFL, but he does need to kick more goals.
To bring it back to 16 points in the shadow of three-quarter time. Misses. What more can you say?
Important miss too, really. Needed to kick that.
Burkhart.
To the Bombers' credit, they keep taking risks.
Courtney Dempsey got there, cut it off. Lucas from 53 with the left. Thumps it long. Hill.
Play on. Umpires said touched.
Scotty Lucas, I'm not sure whether that's the option. He's got 2 players in Lovett around him. Give the ball to Lovett, run in and kick a goal. He's blazed away from 70.
That's a mark.
Well, wasn't that a mark?
That is a mark.
Yeah, you're right on the Scotty Lucas one. That was just getting the ball and wanting to kick it. I mean, there were 2 or 3 options then. 2 or 3 options.
Pratt thumps it long. Right a front spot with the reach. The knockdown. Takes it out. 1 minute 41.
Let him run.
Let's have another look at this mark. Hill, it's whether he juggled it over the line. We don't get the benefit of that.
I heard the umpire yelled touched.
Oh, footy didn't land in his back, land on the bottom of his legs.
Ray's having a lot to say out there.
He is.
Cheers, Drew.
He's quite chirpy.
Bring out the back, please, gents. Let him run.
He's in the game. The little fella, good on him.
From the ball up. Ferrito to Petrie. Bouncing ball towards the boundary line, Fletcher. And he did that well. No, he didn't. It was out of play.
Thought it stayed in too.
Yeah.
Get it, Ray, I got it. Have a word to him. It's twice.
Umpire still having a chat there, Ray. Hope you can hear it in the effects mics at home. 61 to 41. 20-point margin. Hale Swallow. Hamill missed the target, and Davey is away. With some speed, sends it long. McVeigh with 2 to beat again. Bumped as he attempted to mark it. McMahon. Scott Thompson.
He's a very good player, Scott Thompson.
Shorts it. Very good short two to Andrew Swallow.
He just eased McVeigh under the ball beautifully there. Didn't give a free kick away. He used his body to get McVeigh off the line. That's outstanding defensive play. You see him holding the ball up now.
Well, as we said a number of times, he came into AFL footy. He's not young, with 3 premierships to his name, 2 for South Barwon and 1 in the VFL for Geelong. Before he was drafted by North Melbourne, Scott Thompson. It was his only game number 10, but as we said, too old to be eligible for the NAB Rising Star. As Hale, good dumping tackle, and the second stop at 23.
He normally plays on the smaller forwards in defence and has struggled in his 10 games to play on the bigger bodies, but seems to be getting confidence at the level, Scott Thompson. He's been a very good player today. In fact, he's a loose man in defence at the minute.
Important takeaway here. The Bombers don't get it. Zeeble slaps it out for Rito. Rawlings. Caught by Quinn. Ferrito's kick smothered. And he keeps it alive. They need a mark from this kick. High inside 50. Off hands. Courtney Dempsey left it behind. 3/4 time here at Etihad Stadium. And the Essendon portion of the crowd a little stunned. North Melbourne has been able to double its half-time lead of 10 points. It's a 20-point margin at the last change. 9-7-61 to 5-11-41.
Thomas and Hale in the goal square.
Wobbly ball up from the umpire. Zaharakis thought he had it. Stolen by Harvey. Runs to 48. Sends the drop puck home. Classic Brent Harvey. 3/4 time at Etihad Stadium, and it's North Melbourne by 20 points. They're led by 12 at quarter time, by 10 at half time, and currently by 20. The biggest margin of the game has been 22. So at the moment, North Melbourne have the Bombers at their mercy. Dean Laidley working overtime with the troops. And hopefully the Bombers have one roll of the dice left, gentlemen.
Well, they'll certainly need to improve their kicking efficiency, Danny. We're looking at their stats. I mean, they're kicking at 60%, and it just killed them this afternoon. Matty Nice will be pretty disappointed with that. There was a big moment in that quarter where there was a big turnaround, but I would have thought North Melbourne have come today a little bit more hungry than the Bombers appear to be at this stage anyway.
And surprisingly enough, Essendon have gone inside their forward 50, 36, 3 more times than North Melbourne with 33. And you said 60%, 43 out of 108 kicks they've turned over. It is seriously an issue. If they can get that part of the game going at 80% and they mark a few, they're still in this game of football. North Melbourne aren't playing great themselves, but at least they've got a bailout kick there with Hale. We'll head down to Rowan Smith with Ashley Prescott.
Well, Ash, firstly, what happened with the interchange debacle?
Well, that's the rule. We had 4 players. 4 players were coming off, and unfortunately one of our boys went on too early.
The direction there from Matty Knights at 3/4 time, was it just a skill error?
Put the speed on the game. We really have to. The Kangaroos have slowed us down. We have to really go hard at the game and make sure we play on at all costs.
Thanks for your time, mate.
On your own.
Look at that. Is the Matty Lloyd incident where he was having the shot at goal and the interchange steward had to cut him off and say turn it over. Free kick and 50 against him. Disappointment there. Speaking of disappointment, there might be some disappointment in the Richmond camp if they can't get up today against Melbourne. A game being played as we speak. That's at the MCG, and the Tigers are down at the moment.
Ouch.
Melbourne 8-7-55. Have a handy lead as we see this ball up being recalled again. Don't forget, of course, after this game, the last game of round 4, the Bulldogs on the West Coast from Subiaco. This one still a quarter to go. Love it from the ball up.
Great tackle by Rawlings.
360, handball to Zaharakis, sends it wide. Getting back Stanton. Lucas holds his ground. Zeeble falls over, gets the handball up to Gibson. To Harvey. Hunted by Zaharakis, who got him. Handball back to Simpson. Harvey kept his feet. and kicks to Petrie, who fumbles it across the boundary.
Second chest mark he's dropped inside 50.
There's Matty Lloyd, one out in the forward 50, so that's good play for Matty Knights. Get it down there quickly to the skipper.
Hill and Petrie. Petrie with the reach, got the kick away, but it's double OF. Free kick, Henry Slattery. 61-41. McPhee.
Thanks, mate. Play on.
Hill. Gee, made it tough for him.
You're kicking at a 6'7" bloke's bootlaces.
Fletcher under some pressure here. Smith came at him. Slattery. Stanton. Pears. And now Lloyd with the reach. And did brilliantly there.
Great use of the body.
Inboard to Lucas. They're away here. Have the spare man. Skipworth inside 50. Calling for it in his direction. If he can get there, he waits for the bounce. Tracks it down. Line looming. Dragged out by Pratt. And you sense he enjoyed that, Daniel Pratt.
Certainly did. And once Slattery slipped over, should have looked for hands. He thought he was half a chance, but not with Pratt bearing down on him. There's the slip. There's Pratt. Thank you very much.
Hill kept out of the ruck contest. McIntosh down to Ferrito. Handball missed the target. Ball up. Hill pleading his case.
Come on, come on.
Ruckman collide. Harding quickly to Zeeble. He dropped it. He's caught. He's over it. It's away with it.
Bit lucky there too. He went to ground.
Watch behind.
Hill, front spot. Harding again, but lost it. Davey turns it over Gibson. Zeeble. Hanson was the open man. Winderlick dragged down. Caught a little high. Umpire said no. Play on. Another ball up. Essendon hanging on inside the 8 as we speak. 7th on the ladder. They'd lose today and North Melbourne could take their spot. Skipworth, Ferrito, McMahon. Dyson drags him down. Get another ball up.
The game's played on North Melbourne's terms at the moment. A lot of stoppages, chewing up a bit of the clock. Essendon need to get the ball, third man up maybe, just get the ball to some space.
And he does there. Hill, Stanton just needs to finish. Superb.
Oh, Danny Frawley just read the play beautifully there. You were right, they needed to get it out of that congested area, which was really suiting North Melbourne, trying to clog it up. And that was just a one that was terrifically done by Stanton, but the tap was just into some space, and great finish as well. Hopefully for the Bombers fans, that makes a little bit of a change in the momentum. At the moment, the swing has been all North Melbourne in the last sort of quarter.
It was great play also from Hill. He read the play beautifully. He knew there was some space to get there, and he was just going to hoik the ball over there, and Stanton was good enough to get onto it. So, telling goal here for the Bombers.
They need to really kick a couple in a row to get that bit of belief, you'd think. Look at the score, it's only 14 points.
For a lot of this game, they haven't been in it, the Bombers, and yet they've never really been out of it. Petrie takes it out of the ruck. Thumps it long. Hale, McIntosh, McPhee, off hands, Fletcher. Dragged down. And get a ball up again. 14 points the margin. Bombers searching for a third win in a row. Came into this with wins over Carlton and Fremantle. Ball up, Fletcher. Watson. Half held, dragged down. Skipworth got it out, stolen by Harvey. One-on-one at full forward. Smith is down there. Can't rake it in. Now he's got it. Runs in at Dempsey. Dumped, holding the ball. The Bombers could be away to advantage here.
It's good play.
McVeigh takes them on. Winderlick, he ducked into the tackle. Got it to Pears. Matty Lloyd, he's caught behind.
Well done, Thompson.
Scott Thompson takes them on.
He's got nowhere to go now there since he's played on.
Makes it McMahon's problem.
Well done, Winderlick. That little deft touch.
Pears, Stanton, Davey has to motor. Got the skates on, but left it behind. No free for holding the man. Crowd wanted it. Petrie wanted the leather. Takes them on.
He's gone.
Dyson's got him.
Oh, that's
Brilliant
great
chase.
tackling. They're starting to lift now, the Bombers.
They can smell something here.
Lloyd.
Long kick. Lloyd full forward. Gibson with the fist. Thumps it wide, but it's in Davies' direction. Harding with him. Love it. Takes on Pratt. Kicks from the impossible angle. Lloyd sees it sail through. It's a behind.
Sure, McVeigh's all that happy with Lovett snap at goals in. He's on for the handball in the corridor.
Well, he was. We'll go down to Rowan Smith. You found out a little bit more about the interchange debacle, Smithy.
But I've done a little bit more research. It was actually Adam McPhee that made the indiscretion. He got a little bit of a stern words at three-quarter time by Matty Knights, which was a little bit disappointing because, as we know, that Matty Lloyd was... Sorry,
Pratt, he raced to behind. That's got to be a free kick on the goal line. Sorry, Smithy. Bit of drama here. Lloyd's ball for a rush behind.
Unbelievable mistake.
We did throw to Smithy, assuming that we're just going to kick the ball out and get a nice, easy possession, but Daniel Pratt was just confused in the end.
No.
And Lloyd dumps it through for his third. Someone's flicked a switch on this game. It's on.
Well, I think it's the Bombers that flicked the switch, Grant. It was well called. They've got a hunger for the appetite now, the hunger for the tackle. They're starting to run and carry. And you just sense the longer this game goes, we see here, the umpire says play on. Now, he knows the rules. He can't put it through deliberately. He's played on. In the end, probably the option was to handball over to Josh Gibson because Gibson was there near Lloyd. Had to be aware of that.
He's thinking that if he invited the pressure from behind that it wouldn't be pinged, but that's exactly what the rule should have been brought in, for that exact thing. They're never going to let him get away with that.
Some pressure back on Dean Laidley. Lloyd lurking in the goal square. He's on 899 career goals, and the Bombers are back in it. Free kick. Essendon ball. Hill thumps it long. Gibson gets back. Good mark that.
Silly kick in the end. Just a kick in hope from the middle of the ground. It didn't break the lines, that kick of Hill, so had to lower his eyes.
Oh, that's deliberate from Zeeble, surely.
We'll head down to Rowan Smith. It looks like the Bombers got all the momentum, Smithy.
They certainly have, and the crowd are getting right behind him here, boys. So just getting a little bit of momentum. Zeeble just got a little bit confused there. Boomer Harvey was calling for the ball, but just handballed directly out of bounds.
Watson thumps it high. Lloyd. Pratt spills it. Gibson ran into Skipworth.
Look at the pressure coming.
Dyson, ball back alive. Tried to thread it to Lovett.
The
Back
option
by
wasn't
Pratt. Gives to Zeeble. Gets them out of trouble. Ferrito. McPhee. Hands are back from McPhee.
Well, the coach had a word to him at three-quarter time. He's starting to lift.
Well, if they don't win this ball, they're in some serious trouble here, Essendon.
Winderlick tries to knock it from Warren. Gathers.
Look at the numbers.
Thomas.
He's ducked into
He
it.
ducked into Nash. He's got to be gone then.
Yep.
Well umpired, well called, Dwayne. You duck into the tackle. It's holding the ball.
And they're a man down, North Melbourne. Thomas still down. Winderlick
If Winderlick can find Lucas out this side, they're away.
needs to come back in. Ball for the left. Thumps it along. Tough ball for Stanton. 2 to beat.
Here's Davey.
Swoops. Pocket. Caught. Ducked. Got it out. Skipworth. Lloyd. And goal number 900 can make this a one-point ball game.
That's a magnificent kick under pressure. Lamb, you played the game in the midfield a lot. Under pressure to do the team thing and to get it to your skipper. One of the best kick of the game for mine.
Oh, it's actually a fantastic effort by Lloyd too. He just read it so well. He got in front. That's why this bloke's a champion. Because when the game's been on the line, he's actually been really the main reason they've got back into this match.
He's one of the 8 greatest goal kickers the game has ever had, Matty Lloyd.
Oh, shit.
And he misses. Hard to believe that.
Do you think maybe, and he wouldn't be, he was thinking of his 900th goal there?
Oh, I would hope not. I wouldn't think so. Let's have a look at this free kick. Yeah, no, it's holding the
Ducked
ball.
into it.
He did. Well, he's holding his head. He was laid down for a little while, but it didn't appear that there was any contact, but I'm sure there was. Now, North need to have a bit of composure here in their back half because all of a sudden they're becoming a panic. It's panic station.
Oh, Harding, Monfries could cut this off. Scott Thompson
He's in trouble.
well.
He's gone to ground.
Where's he go?
Oh, Lloyd's kicked that out on the full. Got away with it.
He was lucky there because it was 3-on-1.
Yep, he saw it out on the full, he said. Senior umpire, that was, not the boundary.
That's a let-off again for North. Just see the replay. There's a 3-on-1 there. All they had to do was keep the ball in.
It wasn't even on the full. Overruled by the central umpire.
From the bomb, Gibson.
Well, North Melbourne, one of their players, their senior players, have to stand up now. They're under siege at the moment, North Melbourne.
Petrie to Rawlings. Rolling ball, Quinn attacked it well, takes the game on. Little tap on, Pears. Lucas gone, dragged down by Thomas. No free, no holding the ball. Nash got it up to Stanton. Dumps it long, Lloyd hovering. Push on Gibson against Lloyd.
Gee, Nick Ferrito needed to be clean in the middle of the ground there. They had numbers forward of the ball.
Also, Stanton had McPhee on the outside, blazed away to a 2-on-1. Could have got the handball and run the lines there.
Power.
Well, it's just a game of circle work at the moment.
Harvey, lower. Harvey tries to step Dempsey, couldn't get around him. Petrie back to lower. He's caught, got it out. North Melbourne with players running forward, duck the head as he called. Ferrito tries to thump it out. Pears, McPhee,
great tackling.
Zaharakis, no prior opportunity and got a kick away. It's a hot footy at the moment.
Oh, it's tough.
Stanton thumps it out. Skipworth hunts it down. 61 to 55. It's a one-goal ball game.
Winderlick in support.
They're going to have to run it all the way here. There's nothing inside 50 for Essendon at all.
Rider to Winderlick. Bounced it, got it back. Zaharakis, no prior. Ball up.
They're away in the Bombers. The bounce, the fumbled bounce really did hurt them. They'd love it. They had McVeigh just seeing here bounce the ball. Didn't come back to him, just took his eyes off for a split second.
Good play by Swallow. Terrific attack on the footy.
Still plenty of time left in the clock.
Skipworth's injured too. In the background there, you'll see Hayden Skipworth waving to the bench trying to come off. So you can't be one man short.
And what needs to happen here, Pick, is one of the half forwards, Alan Davey or Winderlick, need to read the play and get back behind the ball.
Well, Urquhart is actually ducked out the back now, who was his opponent. If it gets out to him,
he might still get it. Power. Rawlings. Hanson. Handball to the feet of Ferrito. Bad handball. Pears. Dyson.
Away.
Little tap on. Stanton. Clever. Davey. McVeigh.
Needs a shepherd.
Lloyd's into goal square. Short pass. Lloyd on the bounce. Great gather. Hands it up. Can't get it to a teammate. Thompson. Poise. Rawlings. Hanson.
I'd love to know the stat of how many balls have gone to grass to the leading Essendon forwards today. Too many. At least give them a chance. At least if it's in the air, they can use their body.
Pratt wide to Smith. Boundary line would have been a better option for him. Left it for Quinn. Got a handball up. Oh, umpire said he didn't.
I think he juggled it, Dwayne. I think it was definitely a right decision there.
Zeebel's ball.
And in Gaelic football, of course, no tackling. Just a lack of awareness from behind there from young Michael Quinn.
Power thumps it long. Hale, Fletcher, two of the superstars. Hale tied up by Fletcher. Urquhart, spare man, handball for Lower but missed him. Winderlick had it but lost it.
Good
Lower, back to Petrie to stretch the margin. Out of play on the full.
Composure. That's what we need now, Pickers, composure.
I know players feel comfortable around the goals to bend the ball around across their body, but he could have kicked the drop punt nearly then, Drew Petrie. Much better percentage kick.
Zaharakis to Lucas, 2 to beat here, and gets the free. You can see 3 North Melbourne players around him had that spilt. Cut off by Power.
Now, Boomer Harvey's pushed forward inside 50 here. There are some tired players out there.
There is. Both sides are out on their feet.
Urquhart long. Hale, Fletcher. Hale!
Magnificent mark. Fletcher was looking for the body and Hale didn't give it to him. He was searching Dustin Fletcher. Hale just laid off him beautifully to the last minute on impact. Fletcher tried his best to get back, but couldn't feel any body pressure. It's an uncomfortable position to be in, but great mark here from Hale. You see in the replay, Fletcher searching for him. Hale doesn't give it to him, and eases him under the ball beautifully. Great grab.
He's kicked 4 goals too.
Big
the
kick
lead stands at 6 to stretch it to 12. Played 16 minutes final term. It's off the side.
At it.
It's a behind. They lead by 7. Rowan Smith.
Well, boys, Hayden Skipworth's come from the ground, as you called before. You can just see him running up this ball, and bang, there goes the right hamstring. So he fell for it straight away, went straight under the rooms, and they're just icing it now.
Well, that's a month, that one, by the look of it.
Fletcher, long and precise. Zaharakis. Dempsey.
Put Ryder on.
Hits him. Open forward line at the moment. Lead comes from Lucas. In his direction, waited for the bounce. And Pratt takes it out.
That kick from Hale, going back to the kick pickers, if you're going to make a mistake, make a glorious one. Don't make a tentative one. He just stabbed at the ball, kicked through it.
It was interesting because Matty Lloyd did a similar thing at the other end. Just didn't kick through the footy.
Hill stole it from McIntosh. Tied up. Ball up. North Melbourne is led by as much as 22.
Well, they need to watch the space here again. We know that Stanton kicked a goal in this situation earlier in this quarter.
Kangaroos currently by 7, but that might change. Love it. 50 from goal. That's a long thump. Goal square. Lloyd with 2 to beat. Thump through by Harding. It's a behind, and it's back to 6 points.
David Hill pleading for deliberate there. I think it was wishful thinking. Great play from Harding coming third man in, but it was a contest. I'm not sure why Hill was pleading for deliberate on that one.
Yeah.
Harding to Ferrito.
Still not a lot of run from North Melbourne here. You just sense that Bombers have got a couple left in them, and North are trying to hang in there.
18 minutes gone. McIntosh with the reach on Nash. Well played, Nash. Forced it to ground. Hill back to Nash.
That's a good kick.
Davey can
He's
run.
away.
No one's in the square. Looks up. Sees that. Thumps it long. Lloyd. 3 to beat. Gets back. Thump through. Another behind. But a goal will now put Essendon in front.
I don't know whether it was the right option. Look, he went for the goal. It's fair enough, but it was just outside his distance.
You've got to know your limitations in this game. And in the last quarter, the first quarter, when you've got fresh legs, you may have been able to kick it that far, but it was always going to be a hit and hope, really.
Ferrito, good grab.
We're inside 50s this quarter. Essendon 10, North 5. But that kick from Davey, he just kicked it 20 out. Lloyd's on fire at the moment. He's got good hands. It's impossible to mark that one on the goal line.
Look at this.
Ferrito caught the play on. Thumps it straight up in the air. Simpson stands under it. Thumped away. Ball out of play. The players don't know how long left. They look at the scoreboard now. It shows 19 gone.
Smithy, they're just in front of you, this stoppage. Who are you picking?
Well, I'm going to pick it. I'm just hoping that the Bombers haven't run out of breath. They've just tried to get in front, but they look like they're full of running still. And the field of North Melbourne players, as I'm just touching the ball here and give it back to the umpire. But it looks like the North players are just out in their feet at the moment, Spud.
Well, it's interesting because Matthew Knight said, and we heard from Ashley Prescott, that he wanted them to quicken up the game, the Bombers, in the last quarter. Well, they've certainly done that.
Oh, he's gone.
We saw Matty Knights there on screen in the box. Gary O'Donnell, Scott Camporelli at his sides. Ball up, centre square. 5 points the margin as we tick into time on.
He looks a pretty composed character in the box, Matty Knights. You very rarely see him showing a huge amount of emotion. And you reckon he'd get pretty hairy in there at 5
Don't worry, Smithy. He'd be like a duck on top of the water, mate. The feet underneath that bench would be paddling profusely.
Urquhart turns around, hits Petrie, but he's fumbled it. So too McPhee. Oh, he was lucky there, McPhee. He had it, but as he was tackled, he let it go.
We can't go long down the line because North Melbourne will drop 2 players back, so look for someone in the midfield.
Lloyd to the pocket.
He needs to play on here.
McVeigh. Not a lot to go to.
Paddy Ryder.
Paddy Ryder might jump. Oh, good reach. Knocked down. Kick around the body is okay from Danaher. Lloyd rolls to his own advantage. Davey almost cut it off. Slip handball good. Harding. Ferrito. Oh, he's kicked that out on the full. No, rolled away.
Davey just had to stay back there. Lloyd was paddling the ball. I knew what Davey was trying to do, but Lloyd had a clean purchase. Just a quick handball off ground level to Davey. He could have had a shot on goal there.
From the ball in. Urquhart.
Look at the speed.
Love it swooping.
Power. Drag him down. Held him too long. Power's free.
It's hurt too. Love it.
Into the 22nd minute. Lovett still down. Power heads wide to Pratt.
Well, it's not a good time to be down because it means that there'll be a free North Melbourne player late in the game. It could be costly.
Pratt to Warren.
Played it. Top the arms.
Pretty good fist that from Nash, but Warren to take the free from outside 50.
There's Lovett.
Let's have a look at this.
He settled himself on top of him. He threw the player on top of himself, which took the wind out of him, I think.
Hale's on here.
Pratt towards Hale, getting back Standen. 62 to 57, 5 points to margin, inside 5 minutes left. Paddy Ryder gets there hard. McMahon back with the flight, let it go. McVeigh. Ryder.
Oh, he's not sure.
Lloyd's on the move.
Push.
Can't get there, ball hits the deck. Urquhart. Harding had to wait for the bounce. Handball half smothered. Swallow swoops. Chip kick good. Just the required 15. Pratt holds it up.
Well, he's an experienced player.
McIntosh and McPhee. Mismatch here.
McIntosh has the drop. Takes the mark.
Magnificent kick, Daniel Pratt. You just sensed that he's a very good kick. Hurt himself about 10 minutes ago where he rushed the ball through and he kicked the ball to space, and that's where the forwards want it. Just kick the ball to some grass with some height. Your taller players normally get it. You just see Pratt assess where McIntosh is, kicks the ball to grass, and McPhee was always under the pump with that kick.
A 9-possession afternoon, Hamish McIntosh. Hasn't kicked one yet today. To stretch the margin beyond a goal. It's there. They lead by 11.
Great finish by McIntosh. Really important. No one's been able to kick that goal, that crucial goal. And you're right, Danny, he kicks the ball to an area for the big fella to run, and he put it on his body advantage, if you like, and just too big. That's the first part of the equation. The next part is to kick a goal from 40 metres under pressure, and he did it. That was important.
Well, he kicked through beautifully. Not only that, his work rate, you look at the tackles again, 73 to 60. He's had 7 tackles, so he's led the way, the big fella, and he's pushed forward. It's a great luxury to have Petrie, Hale, McIntosh, just to push forward late in the game. They don't get any smaller. You have a look at McIntosh on top of the square with McPhee. He's giving away about 8 to 9 centimetres there.
3.5 minutes, 2 goals. That's the equation. Monfries with the clearance. Handball straight to Pratt. Caught. Up in the air. Watson. Dyson. Ferrito. Ducked into that. Lucas just off the bench. Caught.
Really well,
gives it up. Monfries. Watson. Winderlick. It held up in the sun. McMahon took the mark.
He's been very good, McMahon, today. He's the skipper, Harvey.
He just needs to deliver, and they're home. Harvey looks up, sees the pass, lower.
Will he get the trip?
Late in the game from outside 50, set shot.
Nearly doesn't need to, just use your 30 seconds.
Well, he's doing that.
Use up the 30, exactly right.
He's backing himself in because he's turning his back on the boys early, so go back.
You'd think if he stretches this from 11 to 12, they can't lose. The worst they could face would be a draw from there. He kicks the goal, they're home though. Thumps it from outside 50. It wobbles, it swells, it's touched. It's a 2-goal game, 12 points the margin.
Long down the middle for Fletcher. Let go one of those big barrels.
And North will be happy with that result.
Yeah. I think at some stage had to roll the dice pickers and I know the long one down the middle can go back over your head just as quickly, but you're 2 goals down.
Lucas, who got it from Winderlich, corralled by Petrie.
Look at this.
Touched. Out of play. Clock stops at 1:50.
Yeah, well, basically playing into North Melbourne's hands here now. We're pushing it out in that back pocket for your first kick, the square-up kick, and then to actually take it down the boundary line onto the centre wing. It's a long way home from there with numbers back.
Back into play. Hill thumps it down. Simpson keeps it alive. The seconds roll. McMahon short. Stanton, good contest. Siebel thumped it down to Power. The Harvey.
Just hold on to it.
They can go all the way back here. McMahon. Harvey not 15, but no one comes at him.
He can just stand there. He doesn't have to move.
Seconds continue to run.
We're at the man up, Essendon.
We'll get it back here.
Urquhart. Seconds keep rolling. High bomb. McPhee gets there and drops it again.
All
and
day.
that's the game. McIntosh around the body. Out of play on the full. But you wouldn't think they could lose from here. North Melbourne.
Now look at the toughness of Siebel here. Stan's going to mark the ball. That's a great body spoil. Really made Stanton earn it. Took the wind out of him.
He's had a good game, Siebel. He's had 22 touches, done some really important stuff, kicked the goal.
And also McPhee, on the other hand, he's dropped a lot of marks.
He's had a horror today, Adam McPhee. And not only that, he ran on the ground early. It cost Matty Lloyd a goal as well.
This will be a big win for North Melbourne.
It's been a tough game.
They've had the rubber chicken video to overcome the last week and a half. Dean Laidley said it's dogged his team. It dragged them down last week. And this might bring them back into contention in 2009. A hard-fought win against the Bombers.
Adam Simpson on cue.
Yep.
Wayne has got the shot on goal.
He's the man that has found it the toughest. Adam Simpson. And it should be mentioned that he does join Anthony Stevens today on 292 games as the equal 4th highest game player for North Melbourne of all time, Adam Simpson. He has been a star. To put the full stop on this game. Sets it up. Almost, but not quite. McIntosh. Lindsay Thomas ducked. And just dropped it.
Hasn't been a pretty game, but it's been a tough game. A lot of mistakes, but the pressure out there today, both sides have thrown everything at the contest. And North Melbourne started, they deserve to win this game of football.
Quinn, Pears, now Watson. McMahon right with him, ball out of play. There'll be a big roar shortly. North Melbourne lost the last 2 to the Dogs in Hawthorn after a win over Melbourne round 1. Back on the winners list at Etihad Stadium today. Ferrito caught. Power. And Lindsay Thomas can chew up the last second. North Melbourne by 12. They led for most of the afternoon. Deserved to win it. 12 up at quarter time, 10 up at half time, 20 up at 3/4 time. And the Kangaroo spirit shows through. 10-9-69 for the Bombers. 7-15-57.
Well, they deserve to win this game of football. Their tackling press was outstanding. 75 tackles to 63. They were all over the young Bombers early. To the Bombers' credit, they never stopped trying. They were in and under. They were under the pump, the North Melbourne team. And it's a very, very good win. The skipper, Brent Harvey, he had 33 disposals and 3 goals. We'll go down to Rowan Smith with the North Melbourne skipper.
Well, Boomer, you're pretty happy. It was look, it was a pretty tight game. A lot of mistakes, but a good win in the end.
Mate, we knew it was going to be a tight game. They played pretty well Essendon last week. They put a lot of pressure on. They're a good tackling team, so we knew we had to put our best foot forward to have a crack today. Mate, credit to the boys. It's been a big couple of weeks, but yeah, bloody real good, mate.
I was just going to ask you about that. You were competitive against the Bulldogs after everything that happened. A disappointing game last week. You really had to turn it around today, especially but you're wanting to beat 2-2.
Yeah, you know, a couple of results went our way on the weekend. You know, a couple of upsets, and now we're right amongst them. I think we're 8th and 9th in the ladder, so couple of big weeks ahead of us, but really looking forward to it.
And Big Haley up forward. It's a pretty big target to hit every now and then, especially if Hamish McIntosh can stay in the ruck and you can leave him at full forward. He's a pretty potent forward.
He is. He got knocked out last week, so we knew he was going to bounce back and have a pretty good game. You know, you chuck Drury up there, and if Hamish rests down there, big Josh Smith's a big fella as well. So I've got some tall timber. And mate, yeah, just great to get over the line today.
And yourself being captain, being put under the pump a little bit in the press over the last couple of weeks, but today hitting some form, 31 possessions, 3 goals. It was good to see you return to that.
Yeah, look, on you. I was disappointed the first couple of weeks. Last week was a little bit better. There's still a lot more running these old legs, mate, and I'm just looking forward to the rest of the season.
Oh, good stuff. Go and enjoy it with all your mates, mate. Well done.
There's no doubt the North Melbourne players gave him the ball early. They looked at Gary Ablett last night. And why not? When you can run and carry and use the ball such as he did. That was the difference in the end also, because the ball use of North Melbourne versus Essendon. They deserve the win, but Essendon will be walking into the room saying that's one that got away.
Well, I look at this game and, you know, if you're coming into the match, you knew that we needed to get Hale or Petrie to kick some goals, take some marks up forward. You can tick that box. Hale kicked 4 goals, 3. Probably should have kicked 6. And we wanted Brent Harvey back in form. You know, the North supporters have... I expect so much from Brent Harvey, and he's come out today at 33 touches and kicked 3 goals. There was continual improvement of a few of their younger players. Zeeble was very good this afternoon. Pratt was nice and tough across half-back. Urquhart was pretty good as well. McMahon, I liked his game as well. So they had plenty of really good players down there. In fact, let's get back down to Smithy. Rowan Smith's down there with Mick Ferrito.
Well, Mick, pretty tough game. Just spoke to Boomer about it. A lot of mistakes held, but you just held sway in the end.
Yeah, it was. I think both sides were sort of out in the feet there towards the end, and there was a few errors and stuff. Probably supporters were after throwing their hands in the air, and so was we at times. But yeah, we're lucky enough to go over the line, and we're 1 down with Matty Campbell out. So great effort by the boys.
Makes it a bit hard when somebody is injured, but it just looked like that Essendon were just getting on top there in the last quarter with their speed, but you just held sway.
Yeah, that was something we were a little worried about all week. You know, they're in pretty good form, and when you let them play the way they want to do, they can kick goals, they kick them quickly. So they kept coming at us, but lucky enough, and we worked hard enough to keep in the game.
All right, won't hold you up any longer. All the boys are waiting for you.
Yeah, he was a good contributor, Mick Ferrito, this afternoon, and he's hard, he's nice and tough. I still think it's an area that they need to think about, North Melbourne. He had 7 tackles, I think, Mick Ferrito this afternoon, as he always does, had 19 touches. Look, I still think it's an area that they could probably improve, which is around the ball, but you'd have to be very happy with that win today.
Don't go far. Back to wrap up straight after this. North Melbourne by 12 points.
Ben Warren there in his first game. The Kangaroos having a good win this afternoon by 12 points. They led at every change and they really deserved their win in the finish. A late goal from McIntosh, just the 1 goal to North Melbourne in the last quarter, got them over the line, as I say, by 12 points. It was a very good game of footy. It was an entertaining game of football. You look at some of the major possession winners and goal kickers. David Hale was good this afternoon with 4 goals. Brent Harvey had an outstanding game. 3 votes for mine, 3 goals and 33 possessions. Daniel Pratt was good. Zeeble, in just one of his early games of his career, was very good as well. Well, Matty Lloyd was a pretty good player this afternoon, Spud.
He kicked the 3 goals, probably had a chance late in the game to put them 1 or 2 points behind Stanton with 26 possessions also on Watson. But the tackling from North Melbourne was outstanding. They had something like 75 tackles and they started the game. They hunted the runners from Essendon, and I think in the end that told on the young Essendon team.
It got pretty willing in the last quarter. It got nice and tight. A lot of mistakes. Gee, there were some mistakes in that last quarter when the pressure came on from both sides, really.
Football is a game of mistakes, but there was a hell of a lot out there today, and this was a terrific goal. Great tap from David Hill, Stanton running into an open goal, and you just sense at this stage of the game that Essendon had all the momentum, especially after this. Daniel Pratt was called to play on by the central umpire, looked up, could have handballed the ball to Gibson, and then rushed it through for behind, and that's the new rule. It was a free kick to Lloyd, and you just thought at this stage
that they were a chance to win this game of football with Matty Lloyd there, and you see Praddy saying, his teammates saying, maybe get it long to the outside the goal square.
Well, if you have a look at this, like the pressure in that last quarter, like everyone was fumbling. There was one that went out off Matthew Lloyd's foot on the full. The central umpire saw that.
But Pratt had a chance to get his team back. This is the match-winning kick from him. We saw what he did there a minute ago, but this kick to McIntosh was absolutely outstanding. And again, that was the difference. He had to kick the goal. McIntosh kicked a goal. Petrie kicked a goal. Hale kicked 4. So their big men did the job, as well as Brent Harvey. You're talking about kicking 3 also. But it was a terrific game of football. As you said, Essendon didn't use the ball, well, let's face it, by foot. They were very ordinary. They really did butcher the ball by foot. They had a lot of players early in the game dropping a lot of marks, but you can't take anything away from the North Melbourne Football Club.
We can see Dean Laidley down there pretty happy, and also Darren Crocker. It was a big win for the club. Fair to say there's not a lot of love lost between these two teams. It goes back a lot of years, but they came with a real intent to be aggressive this afternoon. I thought their tackling was outstanding, and that was an area they dominated.
And it was one-on-one all over the ground. Normally in a lot of games we see a lot of zoning, we see a lot of players playing off at each other, but and that's probably why there's a lot of mistakes. Every contest had something on the end of it. But I just thought early when Essendon were trying to get into the game and McPhee, Lloyd and Lucas dropped a couple of marks. I think Lloyd ended up playing an outstanding game, by the way. But early on, I think McPhee, especially around that half-forward line, Matty Knights in the end had to play him down back.
He certainly did. Let's get down to the North Melbourne rooms with Rowan Smith.
Thanks, Pickers. Well, Dean, it was a tough game. They came at you right there, right at the end, but the boys held tough.
Yeah, they did. Look, we lost Matty Campbell early, and I thought he'd give us a real spark. So we're down to 21 men, and when you're playing a team that's got a hell of a lot of leg speed like the Bombers, your attack on the footy and winning the contested footy was always going to be number one, and we probably dropped off a little bit in the second quarter, but the boys, to their credit, they worked really hard.
We spoke about before the game where you've been struggling up forward a little bit, and David Hale, I thought, was terrific up forward tonight.
Yeah, he was. Look, he was probably, that far off, breaking the game open. Drewy probably dropped 3 or 4. They're both getting to the position, but, we're probably not getting the reaping the benefits yet. I thought we found a player today in Ben Warren. I thought he was terrific, and, Zeeble and Urquhart and Hansen, I thought, in the last quarter were outstanding, and so was our captain. He just, split the game open.
Dean, Liam Pickering upstairs, mate. Congratulations on the win. You mentioned your captain there, Brent Harvey. Was there a bit of a role from your club to get him into the game early days?
Oh, well, look, we weren't too sure which way they were going to go. We thought there's been a bit of a flavour of the month to put the first or second gamer on, so we thought the Irish kid might have got the gig, but, then, he got away, and they put Stanton to him, and, we probably isolated Boomer there. But we thought, no, let's take the game on, and I thought Boomer really broke the game open, and they couldn't go with him.
Dean, congratulations, well coached. I thought the fact that your pack mentality and your tackling around the young Essendon half-back line, the midfield, was probably the difference in the end.
Oh, well, look, if you allow them to play free-flowing style of football, run from defence, you're asking for trouble. And I thought our forward pressure and our pressure to be able to turn the football over in the forward half of the ground was very good today.
Must have been a hard one in the box for you also, though. You talked about the missed opportunities and dropped marks. It must have been frustrating at times knowing that at any stage you could break the game open, but you just continually allowed Essendon back in the game.
Oh, yeah, we did, but they missed some easy shots as well, and it was both ways. And look, they were having a shot for goal, and we got a lucky free kick going the other way. Who knows what would happen, but right now we're 2-2 and we'll take the 4 points.
How would you have gone if had been one of your players on the ground in that situation, Dean? It would have been hard for Matty Knights to have dealt with that.
Because we don't talk in ways.
Well, it was a fantastic effort this afternoon. I liked Scott Thompson's game this afternoon, Dean. I thought he showed some real composure at times.
Yeah, look, he did. We've really gone with Scotty. We've taken Michael Frito out of there, and I thought in the second half, Michael Frito was outstanding in the second half. And we've gone with Scotty, and we've been really patient with him. He's a lot stronger now. He can match him. Sometimes he has to watch his disposal, and he can bite off a little bit more than he can chew. But, he's getting more confidence in the more games that he plays, and, we really want to go with him and give him as much opportunity as we can.
And Brady Rawlings, another big job today on Lovett. Lovett broke the game open at times, but I thought Brady Rawlings was pretty determined all day on Andy Lovett.
Oh, well, you have a look at Davey, Lovett and Dempsey. You let them go free and they can get into their style of football. So I thought our boys went in with that mentality. We were really going to, pull them into the trenches, and I thought we did that all day.
Congratulations, Dean. It was a great win. The North supporters are going pretty happy. I think you found a couple of players as well. Well done.
Yep, thanks very much.
Dean Laidley there, he'd be pretty happy. It was a good, tough win by North Melbourne. It's exactly what you expect when you come to a play against North Melbourne.
He'd be happy and relieved, I think, Pickers. I think it's... look, it was a game of mistakes, but they forced the Bombers into a lot of those mistakes. They probably could have won by more, but you said he was honest in saying Essendon missed some opportunities as well. You've got to remember, Essendon went inside their forward 50 6 more times than North Melbourne. So Matty Knights, on the other hand, he'd be saying, driving back to Windy Hill, saying that's one that got away.
Oh, well, it's interesting listening to what Ash Prescott said at three-quarter time about they needed to take the game on, and because it really was North Melbourne's, I think, more their good play to hold Essendon's run-up than anything else.
Oh, look, it certainly was. Look, I've talked about the drop marks in the forward line, but I couldn't believe the amount of balls that went inside Essendon's forward 50 went to grass, and they didn't really give the forwards an opportunity to mark that ball at all when it hits the grass. At least if you put the ball in the air, the forward can get to work and use his body and maybe bring the ball to ground to get Lovett and Davey and these guys into the play. So Matty Knights would say, look, we're not going to win too many games of football, especially against the top 2 or 3 teams in the competition. We're going to use the ball the way we did today.
Yeah, well, we mentioned Brent Harvey, and he wanted Brent Harvey to take the game on. Wasn't sure who was going to play on him, but he certainly did that from the word go today, Brent Harvey. And I like this sort of stuff where they give him an early touch.
I think they went to school on Gary Ablett last night, having 46 touches, and why wouldn't you? Because he takes the game on. Kicking 3 goals also was an outstanding achievement. Slattery started with him, but Slattery giving far too much space early in the game. Brent Harvey had 10 possessions in the first 15 minutes, and then Brent Stanton went on to Brent Harvey. Not only that, we don't see that too often, Brent Harvey taking a contested mark, but this was the game breaker for mine. You just see Brent Harvey here, just toe the ball through, picks it up, has a look, and straight over the goal umpire's hat. That is a captain's goal at its absolute best. He deserved best on the ground honours for mine.
Yeah, I think so as well. His breakaway speed was really important because they haven't got a lot of natural speed, I don't reckon, the North Melbourne team, and he gets the ball inside 50, you know it's danger.
Well, Daniel Wells out injured, of course, and he's one player that can set the game alight. So there was a lot of pressure on the North Melbourne skipper, but he played extremely well.
Well, at the other end of the ground, the skipper from the Bombers, I thought he was pretty good. You know, he dropped a couple of early ones in the first quarter, but I thought from quarter time onwards, he was probably nearly their best player.
We had to search far and wide to get a couple of kicks early because the Bomber midfield weren't winning the ball. But he competed really hard. He's about the 4th leading possession getter for the Bombers. His work rate was outstanding. He dropped a couple of those marks nice and early, and then all of a sudden it started to click for the Essendon skipper. His work rate is outstanding. You just have a look. A lot of the times he's double-teamed, triple-teamed, and not a lot you can do in those situations. But when he gets the one-on-ones, he's still one of the best contested mark players in the competition. As I said, he kicked the 3 goals. He probably did have a chance to kick his 900th goal today, and of course he was involved in that instance here where he marked the ball. He went back, he thought, yep, I'm going to kick goal number 3 or 4 here. Well, he kicked that goal, sorry, but there was one instance where he did have a shot on goal, and then McPhee come over the interchange bench and really did not only cost Matty Lloyd, but more importantly, the momentum of Essendon.
Well, it was the momentum swing, that's right. Let's have a look at this now. So this is a situation. Paddy Ryder's banged one in long. Lloyd just read it beautifully. Really well called by Dwayne Russell. He just lost him. Anyway, he was about to kick the goal. He's 20 metres out directly in front. And what's happened here?
He's having a look around.
The interchange steward is one of the Essendon players, and we believe it's Adam McPhee, has run onto the ground early, and it's cost him in a big way.
Well, it's tough enough, and you see Ashley Prescott here talking to the interchange steward. It's tough enough as a coach to get your right players in the right positions. You get Matty Lloyd taking a magnificent contested mark. The last thing as a coach, because you're thinking Lloyd will kick the goal, you're thinking about your centre clearance, and you look down, North Melbourne have got the ball in the middle of the ground, you ask the question why. Who would coach? Seriously, it's frustrating at the best of times. When that happens and the ball's taken out of your hands where you should be going back to the centre for a shot on goal, it's inexcusable.
Well, is it one of those things that you started off with brown hair when you started coaching, and then all of a sudden you've now got the grey hair? But yeah, it's just not tuned into the game. I'm not sure. Like Adam McPhee didn't have a great game, and you can see that from the word go really, where he started off his half, his hands weren't good, and then he went back and made some mistakes as well. He just had one of those days, Adam McPhee, unfortunately.
Well, he certainly did. He dropped a lot of marks, but it's inexcusable because Lloyd's having a shot on goal. It wasn't as if if the ball was in flow and the ball was around the wing and you quickly need to get on, the game was stopped. The game was stopped and you've got a player running on. You just take your time and have composure. You know, composure in every facet of the game. And I'm sure Matty Knights and the coaching staff will be instilling into their players, we can't afford this to ever happen again.
I agree. Now, there is another very interesting game going on. The Tigers, season on the line stuff up against Melbourne. Let's just have a look at the scores in that game. And unfortunately, it's not good news at the moment for the Tigers.
Well, Terry Wallace and the Richmond players at the moment, will Melbourne or Richmond win their first game of the season? Well, we got the 22-minute mark of the third quarter and they're 22 points down. I must admit, I thought the Tigers would win quite easily, but Dean Bailey and the Melbourne players' credit, they could have the upset of the round. There'll be a lot more after this game if Richmond don't win this one, unfortunately.
Yeah, they've been queuing up for blood. They've been baying for blood, all the media, over the last couple of weeks, so they need to get over the line in this game. Well, this afternoon it was a terrific win by North Melbourne. Big tick to them this afternoon. Oh,
there's no doubting that. And you expect them to come to the game and play competitive football. That was the way they're going to beat the young Bombers. The Bombers still have got a lot to look forward to. They were terrific in defeat, but the Kangaroos were too good.
Well, we're heading across to Subiaco now for the big game. It's the Western Bulldogs taking on the West Coast Eagles. Thanks for your company this afternoon. Let's get across to say good day to Gerard Healy.